Oh, hey, you. It's Nicole Lappin, New York Times bestselling author, the only financial expert you don't need a dictionary to understand, and now the host of the new iHeartRadio daily podcast, Money Rehab. So here's the deal. I'm going to rehab your money so that you can get your financial life together once and for all. Invest your time in listening to Money Rehab. I promise you the ROI will be worth it. And if you don't know what that means, then you should definitely subscribe. Find Money Rehab on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
Join me, two-time NBA All-Star Baron Davis on the Point Guard Podcast. As a two-time All-Star, I know not all men are created equal. Some are born with true God-given talent. I'm Baron Davis, and on my new iHeart podcast, Point Guard, we get to dive deep into the art, strategy, the science, the mathematics around what it means to be a point guard on the Point Guard Podcast, premiering April 28th on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you download your podcasts.
Welcome to Drink Champs, a production of The Black Effect and iHeartRadio.
And it's Drink Champs motherfucking podcast. Make some noise!
He's a legendary Queens rapper.
Hey, Segreed, it's your boy N.O.R.E.
He's a Miami hip-hop pioneer.
What up is DJ EFN?
Together, they drink it up with some of the biggest players,
You know what I mean?
in the most professional, unprofessional podcast, and your number one source for drunk
It's
facts.
Drink Champs motherfucking podcast, where every day is New Year's Eve. Let's go.
It's time for Drink Champs. Drink up, motherfucker.
What it good be? Hopefully it's what it should be. It's your boy N.O.R.E.
What up is DJ EFN?
And this Drink Champs motherfucking yappy hour. Make some noise! Now, right now, our guest, we got one of the most legendary producers of all times. Part of one of the illest groups ever to come out of the Bronx, come out of New York City, to come out of the world, D.I. motherfucking T.C. The man is a legend upon legends, and he's coming out here to promote an album. That's one of them. The other one is one of my favorite activists, whatever we call it. He's a very positive brother. We got to talk about the time we had Russell Simmons on.
Oh, shit.
We got to talk about the controversy.
Are we going to talk about it?
We got to talk about
that?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't release the episode, so we don't got, I can get these brothers so long, but I want to get straight into the interview. In case people don't know what we talking about, we're talking about motherfucking Diamond D. And Talib Kweli, motherfucker! Now, first off, let's address, you guys have an album together? Let's address the elephant in the room.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Well, first of all, I love the intro that you gave to OG Diamond D.
Oh, that's my guy.
Obviously, he's a legend in the game. Me and Diamond D been working together on his last couple of albums, the Dime Piece albums. And so we have a great working relationship. He's one of the first known, famous artists to get to sort of take me under his wing.
Wow.
And so when he did my show, People's Party, he has sent me a bunch of tracks.
Right.
And to show him some love and respect, I just bust on all of them. I was like, let me just rap on every track.
Wow.
And he flew in town the next day, and I played it for him, but I didn't realize it was the makings of an album until I seen his response to it.
Hella organic way to make an album.
Yeah.
I sent them like 10 joints, and when I
So you got the good gazelles on too. I'm watching you. Okay,
all right. So I was like, how many you did? I think he did like 1 or 2. He's like, nah, I did like 8 or 9 of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that more or less just led to the album.
Because is that how you usually send beats? You send beats in like bulks like that, 10s and
Depends.
Right.
Depends.
Because I get confused. I need like 2 beats at a time. If you send me 2,
short attention span.
Yeah, and especially if you send me like 10 beats and then they all fire, I'm like, I shut down.
Yeah.
So how did you able to prosper through that and get and record like 8 or 9?
I mean, it's different producers. There's some producers who like, you need to come to my studio and work with me. There's some producers that only send you the one they want you to rap on.
Right.
Some producers send you a pack. I work with Madlib a lot. You might get a pack from him for with 200 beats.
Madlib is a legend. That's a legend.
Like he
right
making like 7 beats a minute. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'll be confused.
But I appreciate the love that Diamond showed me, because I know for a fact the caliber of how he produced it. I know for a fact he ain't sending everybody 10 beats or 12 beats. I know that I have to reach a certain elite status for him to even trust me. To even, you know what I'm saying? To not take advantage of, sometimes you send people that are my beats, they make their own album. These days, a nigga will make his own album and put it out. Before you even knew he did it.
Yeah, I would imagine it's weird to send beats from the era that you're coming from. To send beats to people must still be weird, I would imagine.
I mean, not at this point.
You get used to it now?
We definitely...
Because there's nothing like working with the artist in the studio.
Of course. Before the internet, you had to actually sit down with an artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or contact their management.
I like that era better. Like, I always loved the era when... you couldn't send your rail. You had to go and record on the rail. Is that why people always credit like the 90s and the 80s that for it being better music than is happening right now? Is because you couldn't get a Busta Rhymes verse sent to you. You had to go in there.
There had to be chemistry between the producer and the MC.
By the way, right now, as we speak, now on Ebro Show on Apple, they're debuting a single from Gotham album featuring Busta Rhymes.
Nice.
Wow. Quiet One.
That's the name of your album, the Gotham album?
Gotham. Yeah.
Goddamn, make some noise for that.
It's a dedication to New York City.
Now you've been out there with Dave Chappelle catching COVID and all that.
I feel like I might be the cure. I'm the only one in the crew who didn't catch it.
Yeah. Okay, I seen Angela Yee too. She wasn't part of the crew. No.
I think her people's got it. No. I was there that night. They all went to karaoke.
By the way, you see I got my DJ Khaled coat on that I bought, by the way. That I bought from the Dolce & Gabbana store. But... I bought. But I had to say, because when I'm on the way here, I told Fat Joe, I said I'm interviewing Diamond D and Talib Kweli, and he said Diamond D is literally the person who is the nicest thing I ever heard Fat Joe ever say about anybody. Right? He said, if it wasn't for you, you literally came to him and said, you gotta rap, get the fuck out of the streets.
Yeah. What up, Joe? All right.
Make some noise.
What up, Joe? What up, Joe Crack? What's up, bro? How you feeling?
Down in DR.
Oh, that's beautiful, bro.
His wife's birthday.
Bro, yeah, I know.
Shout out to Lorena.
Put it closer.
Diamond D saved my life. And we knew each other since kids, and Diamond told me one day, yo, Joe, everything you do in the streets, you got to put it in the raps. I know you like to rap, but you're going to die out here, you're going to go to jail. And if it wasn't for that speech he gave me, I never would have really took rap serious and never would have rapped. So,
that's real, Joe, that's real.
For life, you know that, D.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt.
I'll give you a call later on, player.
You know what's up, D. I love you to death.
Always.
Y'all feel like the beat from Bendy's show about to come on right now.
All right, my brother. We love you so much. Thank you so much.
I love y'all, man.
One love. Yeah. Yo, so I would like, because it literally was just like that. I literally jumped in the car. He called me for one of his other friends. I told him I got him. Pistol Pete, pick up the Pistol Pete. I got you, bro. And I said, yo, it's funny because I know the relationship with D.I.T. So I was like, I'm going to... And he literally said, yo, that man literally was the reason why I started rhyming. Like, the reason why... How did you just do that? What was going through your mind?
He was already into hip-hop. This is like, early 90s.
Music guy.
He's in the streets. Him and his man Tone, rest in peace, Tone. The whole Terror Squad crew back then, TS Squad. But he was already like kind of in it. Okay. But he saw me doing it. I was in a group called Ultimate Force. He saw Lord Finesse doing it. Lord Finesse is like right in the next building over.
We ain't popping the same bottles over there. What up? Better relax. He seen me pop. He tried to pop one, man. Okay. It's not the same. All right, go ahead.
But yeah, so basically just Joe seeing people he fucked with, tangible people doing shit. You know what I mean? And from then on, we ain't never looked back. We went in there, we made Flojo. Flojo started off as a promo for Red Alert. It was back when Red was doing them promos. And
so it was just a radio, like a freestyle for the radio.
Right. Wow. But this how it all tie in real quick, make a long story short, right? At this time, Chris Lighty was managing me. Right? I was on Violator. N.O.R.E. was on Violator. And that was the connection between Red Alert, myself, and Chris Lighting and Fat Joe.
Wow.
Ultimately, Fat Joe wound up signing with Chris Lighting
early Violator
on Relativity. And off and running since then.
Goddamn, make some noise for that. I ain't forgetting about you and Dave Chappelle on COVID. So let's get back to that. So
and they were running a tight ship over there.
Yeah, Diamond came out to Yellow Springs.
But y'all was getting tested before.
Yeah.
And then so what for people that didn't know, because I just have Instagram, right? I didn't get invited, so I just.
Y'all got an invite.
I ain't gonna lie. Cypher did tell me, but I just wanted the people to feel good. All right, describe it. What is this? A comedy show, and then he brings you guys out to do some songs, or?
Yeah, well, basically this summer, he has a neighbor, his man Steve, out there in Yellow Springs, who had this pavilion. And, I've known Steve for a while. I remember when Steve bought the pavilion, nobody knew what he wanted to use it for.
What is a pavilion?
It's like an outdoor structure in like a cornfield.
Like a patio type
thing.
Right. Like Children of the Corn. He owned all the Children of the Corn.
He owned the cornfield, and he built a space for him and his people to hang out. Okay. I had gone to a birthday party Dave had thrown. They had thrown a birthday party for Dave the year before. It's a nice space for people to hang out. But when the pandemic happened, Dave got the idea to... Michelle Wolf is comedian, who was staying at his house.
That's the lady that run 10 miles a day.
That's right.
The white
She's
lady.
hilarious,
That's right.
Man.
I'm on point.
Yeah, Michelle's dope. Michelle was out there. Donnell Rollins is always out there. So they
Ashley
said,
Larry.
Yeah, Ashley Larry. Mo Armour's always out there. So they like, let's tell some jokes in the cornfield. We'll set up the chairs. We'll socially distance. We'll test the audience,
right?
So it could come in. I think it started
because it's
20.
weird for black people to be in cornfields, and this time we want to be in cornfields. But yeah,
that's right. The town people had meetings.
Right.
They tried to get it shut down, but Dave would listen in on a city council meeting to listen to what the town people would say. You know what I'm saying? And then they would make jokes about.
You know what's genius about the situation is that's the first time that you could understand that Hollywood could exist anywhere.
That's what he kept saying. He kept saying that LA is dead.
Said that?
He said LA is dead. Hollywood is dead. From now on, they got to come to where we at. So if I say Hollywood is here,
I didn't know he actually said that.
But that's actually happening right now. Everybody's leaving. Everyone's leaving LA.
Yeah. So right now, Joe Rogan left LA and went to Austin. Right. Dave is in Austin right now with Joe Rogan. They doing shows together.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be in Houston next week. But that's what Dave was on.
So what is it? Youngtown, Ohio? What is it?
Yellow Springs.
Yellow Springs, Ohio. Right. Where there's fish in the river.
Yeah, y'all should come. Diamond went kayaking with Nico is.
Yeah. What the hell is kayaking? That's when you go like that?
Out there with some fresh air fun.
I ain't never did that.
That shit's fun.
We tried to take Sada Baby kayaking. He was like, "Wait, that's the shit. Y'all got to move the shit with yourself.
Right.
You got to move the boat with your own
no
hand?
No motor, right? Yeah. I'm used to jet skiing and shit like that. Yeah. So, all right. We just read today that Kanye is worth $6.6 billion.
Okay.
Which actually...
And now I'm assuming that's his net worth, right?
Yeah, and they're actually saying that he's the richest black man in the U.S.
In history of U.S. That's what the headline says.
Let's add some context, though. There's about 1,700 billionaires on the planet Earth. Only about 12, 13 of them are black. Wow. And most of the black ones is entertainers. Even though we the majority on the planet, that's racism. That's like generational wealth racism. Right. You know what I'm saying? There should be way more black people.
Absolutely.
So we happy for Kanye and Jay-Z and on him, but the fact that the 1,700, only 12, 13 of them are black, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. But just staying on Kanye for a second, do you think that, is he talkable still? Can you still talk to somebody like when you worth $6.6 million? Like who
billion. That's a big difference between million and billion.
Like who can give you advice at this point?
That's a very interesting point because the fact is you're breathing very rare air. And only certain people are able to exist in that stratosphere. It's almost like being out of space. The reason why Dave Chappelle is so interesting, I don't think he's a billionaire. I don't want to discuss too much of his finances. But everybody knows he gets his bread. And so the reason why he's so interesting is because he's able to get that amount of bread but still seem like one of us. And he's the exception to the rule. Kanye, I talked with him about that Trump stuff and all that stuff and this and that.
He spoke about it on Drink Champs, I believe.
Yeah, we talked about it when Dead Prez was here. And what's interesting about Kanye is like you said, it's hard to talk to someone, a self-made man, self-made from the bottom.
Right. I don't even think Jay-Z. I don't think he'll take Jay-Z advice at this point.
Yeah, who's gonna tell him what to do?
But it's hard to trust people too when you got that kind of bread and it's known in the public.
I'll never take advice from a marriage counselor that's never been married.
Makes sense,
right?
And they can give you the best advice ever. Like you know, sometimes got the best knowledge is the drunk from the hood that's on the block. He gonna give you some
He
gonna give you some of the best advice ever. He just don't got his own for himself.
Right.
They live
for himself. But don't overlook that wise man that's a drunk that's on the corner. Right. They gonna hit you with some mathematics that makes sense. Right. It just didn't make sense for his life. But seeing that, Diamond, right? Knowing that the music business and how it was back then, and seeing Dave Chappelle going on make his plot. For like I thought we did that for De La Soul. When De La Soul came up here, we told Tom Silverman this is the right time to do the thing. Right. All these old white men is looked at as masters, and even owning a thing called the master. How did you feel when you seen that Dave Chappelle took that stance and Netflix took the stand that they did, and then actually gave him back his rights or whatever? It was worked out.
Talking about Comedy Central, right?
Comedy Central,
I mean, it was only right they did that.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was his shit.
Right.
You know, and from the way it got to me, through Kweli, was that the people who were there in the 90s, they're not there. You got a whole bunch of young people up there now.
Right.
And they just wanted to do the right thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they gave him back his name, the show. They paid him some bread on top of that.
The name, the Dave Chappelle show. They owned
did.
The name?
Now he owns it.
That's crazy.
But that was the whole thing.
At one point, they own Noriega. That's why I was the N.O.R.E.
That's commonplace in the music business. A lot of artists probably don't even own their name.
Right. But my good thing is they didn't really give a fuck about me then because they spelled it wrong. That's why I spelled it N-O-R-E-A-E-A-G-A instead of N-O-R-I-E-A. They sort of like the real dictator. Come on, looking for me being smart.
Those contracts do say likeness, your likeness, and it says in perpetuity in the universe, and it's just crazy shit.
That shit don't make no sense. That's colonizer shit. That's imperialist
shit. Crazy,
That's trying to own somebody's soul and own their whole life. That's slavery.
So I don't gotta ask y'all that this is independent. I don't gotta ask that, right?
We Diamond partner. You got Diamond Mine. I got Jarobi Media. We partnered with N.O.R.E Distribution, but we own the masters.
Who's that distribution?
N.O.R.E.
Who that? Damn right.
That's Oz.
Okay.
They've been around for a while.
Really?
Shout out to Shams.
N.O.R.E Universal.
Okay.
We own the masters. Yep.
Right. And all right, boom. And how many records is on this album?
What is it?
10.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all keeping it back to old.
Yeah, we got Sky Zoo on it. Mm-hmm. We got who else? N.O.R.E all day on it. Busta Rhymes, John Forte, Nico Is.
Right.
Y'all ain't got none of them new generation, none of them new niggas on there.
Well, this album is called Gotham because it's a dedication to not just New York, but old New York. And particularly after the pandemic, New York is different right now. So it was like, I'm glad that we got it in before the pandemic. This is about the New York I grew up. This album was done. I listened to Cuban Links for hours before I did this album. I listened to Diamond D's catalog for hours before I did this album because I wanted to.
You want to get in that zone?
Yeah, I like the way that Ray and Ghost, how their voices was different. So if you listen to this album, you'll notice that one verse I'm doing in one voice, another verse I'm doing in another voice, just have them different colors.
Right.
Just how I grew up, me listening to records in the headphone on the train in the era where somebody see how you dress and be like, yo, you listen to hip hop? And they give you a flyer or give you a cassette or something like that. That's what I was trying to capture with this album.
God damn it. That sounds like some good shit.
And D, what came first, rhyming or producing for you?
For the Gotham album or just for myself?
No, yourself in general.
The beats. Well, I was a DJ first. I started off as a DJ, like most producers. You know what I mean? So I started as a DJ, and then from there I got into production, and then
you got fed up with the MC. You're like, fuck it, I'm gonna rhyme on this.
It was just gradual. You know what I mean? I'm hanging around Lord Finesse a lot.
DJ Hutch and DJ Supreme.
Shout out to my man Lord Finesse. The Brand New Beans when they were recording their first album. So I'm around Pool Bar. He's on fire. You know what I mean? And shit just rubbed off. And and it was a situation opened up. I got offered the deal, and I said, okay, I just took the shit.
But that wasn't the norm back then, right? A producer being MC himself and self-producing.
Say it again?
Being an MC and producing your own album. That wasn't the norm at that time.
No, it wasn't. It was. I mean, people was doing it, but not on a major label.
But it's almost like you had to
you
had to get signed as a rapper first, right back then.
And you won a Grammy, right?
Yeah, for the Fugees.
God damn it, make some noise for that. Where do you keep your Grammy at?
Well, I got the I didn't get the actual statue, or if I got it, Patrick Moxie probably got it.
Oh my God!
But anyway, I got all the plaques and shit. I gave my mom one and I got one. Okay. They give you back in '96, got like a medallion and a whole package. But that was for the song The Score.
The Fugees,
the title track of The Score.
Yeah.
Legendary.
How did that feel when they called you and said you won a Grammy? Nas just won a Grammy. It took him 25 years.
Yo, yeah. You know what? Yo,
he's been partying every day since. He's been living Drink Camp's life.
It's nice to be recognized. You know what I mean? But it don't make or break you. But it's always nice to be appreciated.
Right.
You know what I mean? And shouts out to Nas. He definitely deserved that.
Yeah, he deserved that.
Yeah, no doubt.
You ever cared about the Grammys?
Nah, I don't give a fuck about Grammy. But you know what's funny about this?
I'm
gonna tell you why I'm mad. I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a hater.
I'm gonna tell you
that can't be the reason. That's a terrible reason.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad that Nas won a Grammy.
You're mad that he won?
I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad that Nas won a Grammy. Because I don't give a fuck about the Grammys, and I always used to say, I'm proud to be in the category of artists that didn't win a Grammy, like Nas, like Bob Marley.
Oh, no, he left us immediately.
And now I can't say Nas.
Oh, no, he left us immediately.
Bob Marley to this day hasn't gotten any
I don't think Bob Marley ever won a Grammy.
Bob Marley.
I was talking that same shit too.
Crazy. He got one,
He was gone.
So Nas ain't down with the no Grammy crew.
He ain't down with the no Grammy crew no more. Me and you as the leaders, man. Let's go. But I always think it's funny like that. I like to give the accolades when it's well deserved, as it is in Nas' case and your case.
Right.
But I always felt like we should have had our own award show that's prestigious.
Yeah, it was called the Source Awards at one point.
I mean,
it was. Yeah, it was big at its time.
Source Awards, Hip Hop Awards, Soul Train Awards.
Was.
We do got our own shit sometimes, but it's always corporate involvement.
Someone gets involved and fucks it up.
I mean, shout out to my man Bad Seed. I don't know if y'all know who that is.
Yeah,
MC Bad Seed.
Yeah.
But he be on Instagram doing like the Grind Awards, and it'd be like Bad Seed versus like some rapper from like Bad Seed versus Rusty Jux.
Right.
Shit like that. Like, I like when artists do their own shit like that. Like, they did their own, like, Brooklyn Hood version of Versus. Like, okay, we now can get celebrated on that level, but let's do it ourselves. I like seeing shit like that. Because shit like when Justo did the Mixtape Awards.
The Justo
I like seeing
Mixtape
shit like
was the
that.
best. I won an
definitely
award.
taking it in our own hands.
Right.
Rest in peace to Justo, by the way.
Rest in peace, Justo. Speaking of verses, would you do a versus against Mos Def?
I would.
Okay.
I don't think Mos Def would ever do any verses.
Why, you think he's shook at you?
No, he's not shook.
I was trying to start a rumor.
He just, I think most don't like that. He don't like that sort of pageantry of it. But I would do it. I'm excited about the Rain Ghost thing.
Yeah, that's
I think me and Mos would be
At first, I didn't initially like it. And then I went and I said, oh, you know what? They do got a lot of records separately. They have a lot.
But it's just a celebration of them.
But what's going to be
I want somebody to win, though.
But what's going to be most fun is to see which records, who get to play what.
Right, yeah, because that's going to be difficult.
Yeah, does Raekwon get to play? Does Ghost get to play Ice Cream?
Whoever
does
Ray album it was on, they got to. That's what I would.
That's how it should rock.
Yeah,
whoever album was. Yeah,
and they ain't gonna regret.
How about you? Would you want to go against a producer in versus? Lyman?
Oh, yeah, I'll go against anybody.
Okay. Let me think.
Lyman want all the smoke.
You against Buck Wild?
You and Premier.
I go against Buck. Buck is family.
Yeah, I know that's what makes it dope.
Just on some celebration shit.
Yeah,
that would be fly.
All right, let me.
That would be fly.
Pete Rock, you against Pete Rock?
Pete Rock, that would be dope too. Anybody from the mid '90s to now,
right?
Who been doing it that long,
right?
Right,
right. Has to have a similar catalog,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I can think Pete Rock. I think that's dope. Mm-hmm. I think that's legendary hero.
Shouts out to my man.
Large Pro would be crazy.
Too.
Alchemist would be dope.
Man, no doubt.
Because Large Pro,
yeah.
let me tell you something. Large Pro has never changed. He's been the same
That's
guy.
the same nigga. He don't get enough respect too for what he put in the game.
I love Large Pro, bro. He still comes out.
How long y'all knew each other? You and Pete.
Well, Large Pro used to come to my hood back in the days, and he was just always a good dude. He's just always around, and so I knew him for a while.
Right.
I can't even tell you how long.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
You knew him before Main Source?
I think after Main Source.
Okay. I seen you in Europe on the road with Large Pro, right?
Yeah.
That was a good party.
We go out there, we do our thing.
Right.
Spending 45.
That's my man.
Right. And you be DJing too. You taking all the money.
I'm a celebrity DJ. I can't say I'm a DJ since Diamond D.
I'm
saying I'm a DJ fan and Diamond D. But yeah, I come to little spots, Wood Tavern, little spots, do my little 1-2 thing. Shout out to Max Pierre. Word, one of the COVID shit, huh?
They just shut down. But they just opened a spot right there, pizza bar.
I DJ'd there a couple weeks ago.
What, Wood's having the same people?
The same people, yeah. I just saw homie.
They don't got the smoking section?
I mean, I'm not gonna blow it up.
Yeah, I just DJ'd at that pizza bar. It was a good time. A couple weeks ago, yeah.
So, what's your relationship with Miami? Are you living out here partly?
I like Miami a lot, man. Right. I mean, the South is crazy. Y'all niggas
you've been coming here for a long time.
Running around super spreading and all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Miami's wild right now.
But I mean, Miami got something special. Miami's cultural. Right. With all the Latino people, all the Caribbean people, everybody who moved here from New York and everybody who moved here, like Miami got a special thing going on. Even people locally who grew up here, the whole Broward scene, what y'all doing with Wynwood and the whole what you're doing, Art Basel and Arts. Right. Shout out to Thurston Howell and everybody who just come and relocate. Miami's very special. So yeah, I've been coming down here.
Kid Capri was down here at one time.
Kid Capri was down here.
I remember.
I used to do early.
Oh, hey, you. It's Nicole Lappin, New York Times bestselling author, the only financial expert you don't need a dictionary to understand, and now the host of the new iHeartRadio daily podcast, Money Rehab. So here's the deal. I'm going to rehab your money so that you can get your financial life together once and for all. Invest your time in listening to Money Rehab. I promise you the ROI will be worth it. And if you don't know what that means, then you should definitely subscribe. Find Money Rehab on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
I'm Minnie Driver, and in my new podcast, Mini Questions, I explore our differences and our similarities by asking people the same 7 questions. Questions about what makes us happy, what we're curious about, and what love means to us. This season, I'll be speaking with the brilliantly talented actor Viola Davis, epic Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl, and investigative reporter Ronan Farrow. Listen and subscribe to Mini Questions on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm going to tell you, bouncing around, just moving around on subjects, I'm going to tell you something that you told me that fucked up my mind. We did the Russell Simmons episode.
Mm-hmm. Are we talking about that now?
Yeah, okay. We got to.
and mind you, that was a quarantine episode. It was on Zoom. Yeah,
it was a quarantine episode.
During lockdown.
I wanted to do my version of marching. I have a platform. I know how powerful it is. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't know then.
Yeah,
I didn't know how powerful it is. So we wanted to do a panel. So I think we hit you. I think it was Bum B. Mm-hmm. And Mark
Lamar Hill.
Mark Lamar Hill. And no, it was no female on there. And who?
It was Bun B, Mark Lamar Hill. Was my song on this?
My song and you. And I remember on the promo, as one part of the thing, this part never got out. This part never got out. But when Russ actually came on, because first it was just us. Mm-hmm. But when Russ first came on, all of us smiled. Like everyone, it was just like a refreshing thing. But when I looked at that footage, I said, nah, that can't come out. Because how... But you said something to me, so I called you the other day. I was like, yo, I didn't even really know, after that happened, I was like, I didn't really know how much they're accusing Russ of and all this. And you said something to me that I've never heard before. You said, yeah, we're male privileged. And I said, what? I had never heard that. Like, you know what I'm saying? The privilege, we have a certain privileges as a man that we don't even, that it's not like we're blocking the door, we're ignoring it.
Like second nature almost.
Yeah, I had never heard of that before, Talib. So, so, and then I did my research. You know, I spoke to Mark Lamar after that.
He was arguing with Rosa a little bit too.
Yeah, he was. I was arguing.
But it was crazy about you. So I went back and watched my first Drink Champs that I did the first time when I got really drunk. First time, that fucked me up.
Tell me you regret it.
It was great. I loved it. But I brought Rosa up in that Drink Champs, and you said, "Wait, she's Puerto Rican. I need to meet. We need to breathe." So it's bug. I was like, "Oh, I had mentioned Rosa the first time years before." It's funny that y'all started arguing.
And the convos with her. I mean, I had a couple exchanges with her on Twitter, I think, and it was mad. Like it was calm and
she loved hip hop.
It was level-headed shit. It was level-headed shit.
My thing is, and this goes out to Sister Rosa, who I don't think I've ever met, and if I did, I apologize if I don't remember. But the cancel culture, because this is what made me mad, and this is what made me upset. Just by having Russell on, she said, Drink Champs hates black women.
That's the part that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
It's Japanese whiskey.
Okay.
Oh, that's good whiskey right there.
So hold on, let me finish because I don't want to just leave that out there in the atmosphere, in the universe.
Right.
So the thing about it is, I ain't supposed to know everything that's proper. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta just take time out of instead of coming at somebody and dissing them,
or assuming something,
like assuming that we were all co-signing. Right. I actually more or less didn't use the episode more for my son Talib Kweli because these are my brothers who I look to for my consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? And when they didn't, and Lamar Hill didn't say nothing. He put his head down. But I would have appreciated him to say, yo, listen, I can't
hit you after the fact.
Yeah, he hit me after the fact. He went straight to Twitter.
Right.
He went straight to Twitter, and I had to accept it. I had to accept it because this is the day and time we live. Right. But he was trying to cover his ass, which he was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But like I said, in this day and time, I see the comedians. They're having a rough time because they can't say certain words. Mm-hmm. They can't. And I just wanted you to touch on that a little bit, that when you hit me with the male privilege.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think we all in this room understand.
There's a bunch of dudes in this room.
Yeah. Well, that's first of all, like, I love this show.
Right.
This show needs a lot more women.
It does.
Absolutely. And you and me spoke about that.
It does.
And that's the first thing. And that's
as guests. But you know that's not us.
Right.
We've invited them.
Right.
We've invited.
So even with my show, People's Party, I found it's very easy, especially in a hip hop space that's testosterone driven, to fall into the habit of just booking men because it's men that run this shit. It's men
we don't want to do this.
But I found I had to go above and beyond in my own.
We don't really book guests no more. The guests book us.
Okay.
So it's kind of like
right.
But with the females, we reach out, and females is different because they, you got to deal with their management, you got to deal with their boyfriends, you got to deal with.
But from day one, Queen Latifah, MC Lights, Al Foxy, or Little Kim, Bahama D, like we've reached out.
But I believe y'all because I go above and beyond to reach out to women to get on my show to make it more balanced, and that's a challenge.
Right.
It's not easy, but because we have. Well, back to the point I was saying, everybody in this room, we understand white privilege.
Right.
We understand that if you're born white, it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor. Right. If you're born white, you're born with a certain amount of privilege in the society.
Whether you know it or not even.
Right. So if you're born male, and that even goes for black men.
Right, I didn't know that.
If you're born male, you're born with a certain amount of privilege. Certain doors open up for you in society that open up for women. The most glaring example is the pay rate. Right. Women get 70 cents to every dollar that men make. That's the most glaring example.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But everyone has a specific amount of privilege. Straight white men have more privilege than anybody. Straight rich white men have more privilege than anybody. Right. But everybody got some sort of privilege. And you don't become a jerk by having privilege. You become a jerk if you just don't ever acknowledge it. Right. I think in those spaces, when we have them conversations, we sometimes fall into the male privilege, whether it's intentionally or not.
Right.
And I think that's what we was doing in that conversation.
Right.
And so when Russell came on, I don't want to get into the weeds about who thinks Russell did what.
Right.
The fact is that the accusations are out there. Right. Accusations have been made by credible individuals. These are not random people. These are people who have credibility in our business.
Right.
The fact is that Oprah, though, pulled away from doing a documentary on Russell because she couldn't. I can't speak up, but she pulled away from it. Right. So
I thought he deserved the benefit of the doubt from there.
Well, it's your platform, and you're allowed to do that.
Right. No, I actually walked away from it.
Well,
I actually walked because I said. Well, I didn't understand it.
Well, I remember that episode. I wasn't even there, so I forget what my reason was. I wasn't on that episode.
Because it was Zoom anyway.
And I found out after the fact, and I still found myself arguing with Rosa on Twitter about it, trying to defend our stance.
Right. And I'm gonna tell you something, just because we never brought it up. Next time you see a person that's of your culture that's doing something that's culturally not appropriate, You can the same way we was DMing and we was flipping on each other.
Right.
You can DM me for some good shit too, sister.
Yeah.
You don't gotta always critique me.
Like, let's go each other behind the scenes.
I'm here to tell you that Rosa love you.
Right.
We had me and Rosa had heated conversations about this. And me and Rosa, that's my good friend, but we don't agree on every single thing. We had,
which is cool.
And we check each other.
Right.
We had a heated conversation about it because her whole thing is at the age we at. We supposed to know better. My whole thing was, I said, you got to look at who Noriega is.
Right.
This is a man. If you know hip hop history, you know where N.O.R.E. come from.
Right.
You know he come from poverty. You know he come from a situation. He built himself up out of this.
Right.
And now this man who has been to jail, this man who has been through the system, is now realizing it as an older man. I have an opportunity to take what I learned and be more positive. So let's give the brother space to grow and learn.
That's all I wanted.
And we're going to be progressive. We can't assume that he know what we know.
Yeah, I did.
You know what I'm saying?
I actually I heard the allegation, and let me just be something clear, not taking up for Russell, because if he's guilty of things that he's guilty of, then I feel like he should face the consequences, right? There's no hands about it. But this man that they describe, I've never met.
That's right.
I have never seen this man. Like, if you're going to say, and I'm not saying a crime should be forgiven or whatever, but if you bring up who I was at 18 years old, I'm not who the fucking... I wouldn't hang out with that guy. My 43-year-old version ain't hanging out with the 18-year-old version of me. He's an asshole. Right. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want to come home. This guy comes home to his family. So I tend not to do that to someone else. Right. You know what I'm saying? Why would I judge you on who you was at 18? And you got to realize that I'm not making no excuses for anybody. But the culture was different back then. People would literally walk up to girls and smack them on their ass. Women would literally do that to me in the office. I'd be getting a haircut, get up, a woman go, bam, smack me on the ass. I didn't know I was being Me Too'd. I would have reported it. I would have said something. You understand what I'm saying? But that was it. I'm not co-signing it. But what I'm saying is it was more likely you to walk in and see somebody one of the CEOs, somebody's their assistant sitting on their lap. That was kind of normal back then. Not co-signing it, not saying it was right, but seeing it wasn't abnormal. Right.
Yeah,
you know
and that's the thing. That's what they talk about rape culture being normalized. Right. It was so normal back then that we accepted it as okay. Right. And it's our job to grow and progress and change. And that's the thing with cancel culture. The only thing the thing that's bad about it is not giving people the chance to grow and progress.
Like right now, like right now, right? I don't know if you follow Cam, but Cam got this 29C, right? This girl from his building, she's following him, she's stalking him. We're all laughing at that, right? We're laughing. He's filming, he's running away from her. Had that been a man, that wouldn't have been funny.
Right.
Had that been the other way around, him doing that to her, I can see someone calling the police.
But you know why
he's filming it.
But you know
so
why?
It can't be flipped on him.
And this is where our male privilege comes in, because women. And this is something I've learned as I grow older. When that happens to women, they be getting murked. Like when dudes be stalking with women, when dudes, when women get catcalled and dudes they get rejected, women be getting violently assaulted, and that's what it is. Women go through that so much that
bullshit that happened in Harlem not too long ago.
That shit in Harlem, you know what I'm saying? The community stood up in that instance.
Like when she went in a liquor store.
Yeah.
I seen the after effect. I seen it. What happened?
Some dude tried to holler at her. She's like, nah, I'm good. And then when she left, niggas beat her up.
Yeah. So women be going through that for so long that with men, and we've been social. I just went through some shit recently with somebody saying some shit about what happened with me. When I went back to the situation, I'm like, if I had did that to a woman, that would have been rape. What this woman did to me. You know what I'm saying? But when it happened when I was in my early 20s in my career, we looked at it as some fly shit.
So what happened? A chick took advantage of you?
Yeah, I didn't look at it like that at that time.
She gave some ecstasy?
She didn't give me no ecstasy, but just the way in which she was coming at me and the way in which she was pressed about the shit where I found myself hiding from this woman. You know what I'm saying? And I told my friends on some funny shit. But 20 years later, I'm like, well, nah, that was sexual harassment.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But I thought it was fly. Because I never had that catcalling. I never had that attention. I never had until I became a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
But we got to figure,
it's a deep conversation, by the way.
I think all of us know for a fact that rape culture, everything that we're talking about, none of us co-sign.
None of us co-sign.
Where it starts to get murky is the cancel culture side of it, where it just the society's become judge and jury. Boom.
Well, how you throw out the baby with the bathwater? How do you throw out everyone? And I'm not even going to start naming names because I don't want nobody to get canceled.
But let me just say, we're here for that because we couldn't handle it like that because we was on Zoom. Mm-hmm. Zoom could get caught out. You could get cut off when you're trying to. This is not it. We here for this time. We here to have this great conversation.
So let's break it down. Since you said we here, because
let me just ask you something. Let me just tell you something. What I just noticed. They're trying to go and take Russell's shit off of all these like his name attached to. Harvey is.
You can still watch a Miramax film.
Of course.
You can still, and his name still
enjoy this shit.
Like his name, you can like the man, but you can't destroy the legacy.
Listen, his name still pops up, bro. I'm the other day. The other day, my Netflix wasn't working. My Prime Video wasn't working. My Hulu wasn't working. So I went back to cable, and I'm watching regular cable until the shit was. And I'm just randomly. Just throwing through movies and still seeing his name pop up on official cable companies.
And you're not wrong, but I think that the thing we have to do as men is realize that because we teach our children this. We teach our children, well, just because he's doing it doesn't mean it's okay for you.
Right.
So as men, we have to be like, okay, yeah, Harvey Weinstein exists and Jeffrey Epstein exists, but just because they exist, we can't use whataboutism. We can't say, what about this? Right. We have to own our shit. So I think you came from a place where you didn't understand the ramifications.
No, I did not.
But now that you do.
I still don't actually understand fully because I'm looking at people reposting Russell Simmons. That's women.
But here's
I'm looking at him being Bali doing fucking yoga.
Oh, you know, Russell went to Bali and said, not me.
With the women. Yeah, but what I'm saying is.
But even the women in proximity don't mean he didn't do it.
He has not been, but he's not been charged.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Just like you had to ask me about it, now that you know, with knowledge comes responsibility.
Right.
You couldn't have me on the show without asking me.
Right.
So now that you know, if Russell was sitting in his chair, you know you'd be asking him.
I have to. You have to. You know what I would do? This would be my first time I had somebody ghostwrite my video, my interview. I would actually go let Rosa give me all the questions.
Yeah.
You give me the questions.
Well, that's what happened in that instance when he joined the Zoom. That should have been asked.
But that's where I was going.
Okay.
You didn't do it because you didn't know.
Right, I did.
But had you known, the way for us to do it is we can't say that Russell Simmons is not worthy to be in the conversation.
Right.
But if he is in the conversation, well, then we got to deal with it. The same way that you asked KRS-One about Africa Ben Bali.
I agree.
Like we're not going to not have KRS-One.
And that's why.
But we are going to ask the hard question.
You know what it was? I didn't realize that I'm also a journalist too. That I wasn't being a journalist. I was being a Black Lives Matter. I was being a black person instead of being a journalist.
Yeah.
And I see Mark. Hey, go there.
Mark is a journalist. Mark,
he turned on
Mark
his
hit me
journalist
immediately after. He was like, "Yo, what was that?"
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. As soon as we hung up, I heard the tweet. They was like, Mark Lamont said he's not with his street chat. I'm like, what the fuck? And I had to deal with it. But again, sisters, our culture, people that really, like, you really know I love this culture. You really know that. You really know I'm coming from a place of almost stupidity if I culturally don't be appropriate sometime. I'm coming from a place of stupidity, not straight stupidity.
Right.
You shouldn't chastise me for every stupid move or for every move that you think. Sometimes you really need to just hit somebody and say, yo, listen, bro, you might not want to do that. Boom, 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 boom. And then you take it from there.
I had Little Kim on my show.
Okay.
And she talked about being a teenager when she dropped that album cover. The hardcore and how niggas in jail loved it and everything.
Right.
And she said she thought she was just having fun being a young lady. And then C. Dolores Tucker and them came and they were steamrolling her CDs. And she said something interesting. She said, I was just a child. Why didn't this older black lady pull me to the side and give me some life advice? I didn't know what I was doing.
But
Why did they attack me immediately?
Doesn't that even... the way you just said it right now, maybe even creepier, though, that cover that she was a child.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, whoever's the imagery,
16,
whoever's in charge of that created
it. Different culture.
But I'm saying, like, now that we're older, now the way you're saying, I'm like, damn, when she's a child, I got a daughter.
But
like,
she didn't know. She said, I didn't know.
I ain't defending it, but that was the culture back then.
No,
there was
I get
highly
it.
sexual shit going on. Like, the people were openly talking about eating pussy and sucking dick and all this. This was what hip-hop was delivering. And it was a part of it. Like, watching this shit go down, this super sexist shit going down. You guys in Miami, you had 2 Live Crew. But what the fuck?
I don't think you could attack the lyrics per se.
You think Luke got daughters? You think he was thinking of that now?
But,
he doesn't.
But you have to be careful. We can't attack the freedom of speech either, and freedom to be creative. I don't know. But to me, there's a fine line.
It's a fine line.
Let me just say, because Luke ended up running for office and Luke ended up doing positive things. Let me just say,
Imagine if it was Luke from back then.
It doesn't matter how sexual you are.
Luke had 2 girls sucking.
It doesn't matter.
Jay-Z's lap. And now he's like the mayor or some shit.
It's no matter what ratchet shit you into as a rapper.
Luke is the only one who came on the show and said you can't smoke. We ain't smoking for the Luke. But they had threesomes on camera.
You end up being a conscious rapper.
Right.
No matter what.
Say that again.
I said if you get to a certain, you play. If rap is a video game, and you get to the boss, you get to the top, dude. If you survive all the shit of rap, you either become, even if you're not conscious of your lyrics, you become a conscious individual. Yes. Every gangster rapper, from Too Short to N.O.R.E. You know what I'm saying? Everybody turns a new. If you survive this shit, you be like, okay,
Scarface.
You're right.
Yeah, man.
You're right. You're right. I think you make some noise for that. By the way, this is a good conversation because I actually don't know.
Which we may not be qualified for this conversation.
We may not be qualified.
But we need to have a woman in the conversation.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
In it, but and that's what's interesting is when I look at Russell Simmons' thing and I see that women support him. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's weird to me. It's like I said, it's one of those subjects where it's just in the air.
I think it's about personal responsibility. Right. There's some women who like Russell didn't do nothing wrong. There's some women that's like he's a rapist. But it's about, we can't judge how we gonna behave on how others. We have to look, Russell is Russell Simmons. That's Russell Rush. Right. Like we can't erase what he did in hip hop. Right. But he's just, I think because of what he did in hip hop, because of what he done for the community, he deserves to have his voice heard. Right. Now, what he says with his voice, we'll have to judge.
And I'm going to tell people like this, that I never said this story. Hopefully, I think I never said this story.
But those women deserve to have their voice heard too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Definitely not publicly. When that Hot 97 shootout happened, and they banned us. They banned us immediately. They pulled every record from Capone and Noriega to Noriega to Thugged Out to The Firm. Whatever record I was on, they pulled it. They pulled it. Mm-hmm. You know who got me to get back on the radio? Who? It was Russell Simmons.
Russell.
Wow. He was there for me the time that I needed him.
Right.
I got to say, the hardest conscious rapper out now is Capone.
Right. That's all. All right, cool. Well, finish. We can get back to that. And when it came time for me to show back that favor, I stood with the woman. I want to make that clear. I stood with the woman because
Well, I don't think it's mutually exclusive. I think you can show solidarity for women and still respect Russell's contributions to your life and to this culture.
I tried to, but when the comments was so real, when they was, and what they were doing was, I felt bad for our partners because they were blaming it on the Title and Puff. They was like, look at this, Puff and Jay-Z puts Russell Simmons on. Let me get that. Puts Russell Simmons on Dreamcast. I was like, they ain't even got nothing to do with it. So it's crazy. And we're doing Hip Hop FX Uncovered with Big U, Bimmy,
I did that too.
And he said the only part that they hated is that the studio made him take Russell Simmons out. He said, but they let us interview murderers.
That's crazy.
He said, look at our records.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's some other shit right there. That's some other shit. That's like that Dave Chappelle joke of Sticks and Stones where he's like, well, I'm not a nigger either.
Right. Shit. That's that. This is a deep conversation, man. This is deep, man. I ain't even looking at my notes. Holy moly guacamole. Hold on, let me go.
No, but wait. But tell me, you said you go above and beyond to book more female guests.
Yeah,
what is it that you're doing? Give us an example.
Shout out to my team because
Did you have MC Light?
We haven't had Light on, but we've had a lot of female guests. We had last week we had Dasha Polanco. Next week is Sonny Anderson. Sonny said to say what's up as well. I know
that's my sister. That's one of my favorite people in the world.
Yeah, there was an argument on the squad because they kept booking really good guests. We had Busta and DMX and this and that. And I'm like, yo, I gave him a list of women to book. I'm like, make sure I gave him a list of 10 women. I said, your batting average needs to be 300. Book 3 of these women. And then months went by, we getting dope guests, but they ain't getting none of them women. And I'm like, yo, if I'm not pushing to get women, we all as a team, our default is to just be comfortable with the male talk. And, and it's like, I think we need to balance, and I think people like us who have the platforms, we got to fight for it. We just got to fight for it.
Right.
And shout out to your co-host as well, Jasmine.
Shout out to Jasmine Lee, absolutely.
Now, you worked on the Low End Theory with Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, on the song Show Business. I rhymed on that song.
Okay, you rhymed on it and produced the beat?
No, I didn't produce it. Skeff Anselm did that.
Right.
Skeff Anselm on the board.
You should tell the story about how you got on that record.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
All right, so this is crazy, right? I went down to the session to play some beats for Tip.
For Tip?
Just to.
Yeah, y'all want any champagne? I feel bad now over y'all.
No, but you want some of this whiskey? I want somebody to drink this one.
I have a little bit.
I'm gonna be honest, Talib. I am not a whiskey guy.
I'll try some. I like whiskey. I'm just mixing too much, but I'll try some.
Where's my man?
Mr. Lee.
Said he's a whiskey.
Or who's the whiskey drinker?
The dude who got me the Jameson.
Yeah, Mr. Lee.
So show business, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Tribe Called Quest. So I go down to Battery Studios, and I'm trying to play tips and joints.
So I'm drinking champagne.
Hey, you gotta come on, man.
So I'm playing some
black
joints.
owned, baby. Black owned.
Okay, I didn't know that. That changes things.
Yeah. Salud. This what Jay-Z just sold, baby. Black owned, baby.
Mm-hmm. So I'm playing Tip some beats. At this point, Tip knew I had a deal for the Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop album. Mm-hmm. We would see each other up at see each other up at Jazzy J's studio up in the Bronx. So anyway, I'm down there playing beats for him, and Lord Jamar, Sadat X, they show up. They do they verses, right? Well, the first time they laid their verse, Pooh Bah was there. Right. I wasn't there the first time, but anyway, what happened was Pooh Bah, his verse, he was talking about gays and just keeping it a buck. He's a 5%er, so you already know their stance.
Right.
So Jav is like, all right, listen, we love Pooh Bah. Ask him to write a new verse. And Pooh Bah was like, what? You're dead on that. So he didn't want to write a new verse.
Pooh was on Electra. They was on Electra at that time?
He was on Electra.
Okay.
But this is on Cute. This is on Tribe Called Quest album.
I know. But you saying Jive is saying that.
Jive. Yeah. So when I showed up to play Tip some beats, he was like, "Yo, you want to jump on this song?"
All right.
I was like, "Hell yeah!" You know what I mean? So that, like, me being on that album kind of set up my album.
Right.
Because the Low End Theory came out maybe a few months before Stunts, Blunts, and Hip Hop.
Right.
You know what I mean? But shit, how many MCs rhymed on the Tribe album?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I did.
Yeah, shit.
Word up.
It's only a handful of us.
That's right. And we all right here at this table.
That's crazy.
You know what's crazy? I watched the documentary the other day, and I cried like I never saw it again.
The Tribe doc?
The Tribe doc.
It's really good.
When I saw him and Q-Tip argue, I actually called Capone. I didn't tell him why I was calling him. I was like, yo, I just want you to know I love you, bro. And he was like, huh? Because it's just weird. I was like, I just love you. Because I related to Q-Tip and Fife.
Right.
Yeah. They both was making sense.
Separately.
I was both of them at one point. I was like, oh, shit, he's right. But then the other one would say something. I was like, how is he right too?
Right.
I'm like, yo.
That's real brotherhood shit.
That's real
That's
shit.
real brother
So
shit.
I looked and I was like, wow. And it's crazy. Because
real life shit.
Yeah, I think the most slept on tool in hip hop is the hip hop documentary. Like since Rhyme and Reason.
Right.
Rhyme and Reason's ill. I watch Rhyme and Reason twice a year just to make sure my mom right.
yes. And hey, you better slow down over there. Man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't helping me drink the champagne, so you got all of the brothers helping you, bro. Right. But I think that's the most slept on. The hip hop documentary. Like I would love to see a Black Star. I would want a Black Star documentary more than I want a Black Star album. I want a Black Star album.
I've never made a film before in my life. But after we do this, I'm gonna show y'all the 10-minute rough of the Black Star documentary that I've been working on for the last 2 years.
Last 2 years?
Last 2 years.
Okay, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Some of that shit's been filmed on my iPhone, but I was getting in.
That's gonna be great.
You know what
First, the documentary is my favorite style of film because I feel like I'm being entertained and learning something at the same time. But yeah, that is it. I'm into that.
Yeah, I was on the Tribe album because I went to the Afropunk. Q-Tip was in Brooklyn to see Ice Cube perform. He was performing at Afropunk a couple blocks from where I stayed
legendary.
at.
That sounds. You see how legendary he just said that?
And Q-Tip and me had decided we were going to work on a record. We've been talking about the song. You know how Tip is. Right. Talking about a record for 2 years.
Right.
I'm trying to get this record. Fife passed away. And so in my mind, I'm like, fuck that record.
Right.
I'm never asking for that record again. Like if I hit bro, it's just on some just what's up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because like the friendships and the brotherhood is more important than us getting in the studio.
Right.
And when I seen him, it was the first time I seen him since Fife passed.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, what happened to that song? We want to do the song. I was like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could do the song, but he invited me over to crib. When I went over to crib, it's him and Jarobi there, and they listening to songs him and Phife did that nobody had heard.
Wow.
And they listening, Tip is mixing records. And he's like, yeah, I'm dropping a Tribe Called Quest album. And I was like, yo, would you mind if I just
came on the last album?
I'm on the last album. I just came through his house every day to watch him work on this record.
That was an incredible. I gotta brag too.
You on the Beats, Rhymes, and Life.
Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Okay, all right, cool.
Just give me.
All right, cool.
Just give me that shit. But yeah, man, it's one of my proudest moments.
And they paid me. I was like, you get paid? I was like, I'm not supposed to charge. They was like, yo, listen, it's jive. So
that was a violated time too.
Yeah. But that was a good move when you was, because that was Beats, Rhymes, and Life is a underrated Tribe album.
Right.
But the connection, the Queens connection, and the connection they made between the N.O.R.E. side of Queens, the CNN side of Queens, and the Tribe Called Quest side of Queens was very important for the culture at that time.
Because it wasn't until later, I'm going to tell you something. When Phife first heard, N.O.R.E. know this, and N.O.R.E. know that, and N.O.R.E. know Jack, he didn't really feel me at first. He was just like, yo, you kind of jacked my whole shit.
Phife competitive.
Yeah, he's very competitive.
Yeah. So, and the other connection to that album is the guy who created our logo, Scam, who did that album cover.
Wow. On the one I'm on? Or
Beats, Rhyme, and Life.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, is he on Beats, Rhyme, and Life or Love Movement?
He's on Love Movement.
I think it's Love Movement.
He's on Love Movement.
Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Beats, Rhyme, and Life.
Love Movement, yeah. That was just
the white album cover.
Yeah, that's Love Movement, yep.
Yeah.
When you watch a documentary like that, Diamond D, and all the relationships and ups and downs, did you see, like, because I'm going to tell you something that's going to make me sound very, very, very naive. I didn't really see Phife look that sick. Like, I saw him. Did you notice that in real life?
Nah, like, whenever I saw Phife, I never really saw him sick.
Right, yeah.
Was you living in Atlanta the same time he was there?
Yeah, I saw him. I would see him down there. But you don't, like, when you sick, you don't come outside. So, you know, if he's outside, he's Phife.
Right.
But, you know, most people who are sick on that level, when they sick, they stay indoors.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't want to be, you don't want to come around and people treat you like a pity case.
Right.
And all that.
Because I didn't see the same thing with Pun. Like, people said there were signs. Only thing I seen a sign with Pun was
he got bigger.
But not that didn't even make me a sign. I didn't even notice. Like, because he was I just always met him as a big guy.
Right.
One of the signs I did notice was Bad from TV video shoot. I remember me talking and we're just kicking it. And he just went into sleep, and he just started snoring.
Yeah.
So I thought my story was trash.
Right.
Like, I didn't know. I was like, really? I'm like, damn, you stepped my game up. Like,
disrespected the shit out of you.
I put the guy to sleep. The man fell asleep on me, and it wasn't until later on when it was like, yo, that's that narcolepsy thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. Like, I mean, even down to the funeral, you know, they gave everybody like a certain amount of time to go to the casket, and I sat there. And I sat down, and I guess I got in a praying stance. I don't even know how I got there, and I kept crying, and I remember the people from TS like, yo, he's in a better place. I was like, how's he in a better place? It's like, he's not suffering. I'm like, suffering? They're like, yeah, no, you ain't know. And I didn't see Pun suffer. Is that me being naive? Or
just didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
No, you just probably wasn't around him like that either.
Right.
And maybe he didn't show that side of himself to you.
Right. It's like what he said. If you felt bad, he probably didn't come out.
Right.
And you saw him when he felt better. Yeah.
Right. Now, what's up with Lord Finesse?
Lord Finesse, oh man, that's my brother.
Right.
Finesse, he just put out an album. He just remixed a bunch of Motown records.
Wow.
And that's incredible. Finesse, he's also he's out there on the West Coast. He running around with your man Russell Peters.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You know, so he do his thing. You know, he's still DJing. I'm trying to get Finesse to make another MC album.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That Finesse laid a blueprint down for MC.
That would be tough.
You know what I just found out the other day? Cameron literally told me this yesterday. He said you could go to a label right now and hit him with that. Yo, nobody wants to be a master and own a master at this point, right? So let's negotiate to get our masters back, He said if they say no, it's a legal law that you can go in and do your old album.
He said 8-year statute limitation on that. Have you ever heard of this?
To do your album over?
You could do your whole album over and put it out as the same shit.
That's the first I ever heard of.
Hannibal Buress did that.
The comedian?
Yeah, he did that. He had an album that he sold the rights to early in his career. Then he blew up and he went back to the dude. He said, listen, I got this amount of money. Give me the rights to my album back. The dude was like, nah, that's too valuable. So he just went and did the whole set over, recorded it over at a comedy club, joke for joke, and put it out himself.
Damn for Hannibal Harris, man. We got drunk with Hannibal Harris right here.
He got arrested right after that.
It was hilarious. Yeah, we was hanging with him, Tyler.
This was after his arrest.
Yeah, listen, we was hanging with him, and this is how I know.
It was your fault.
No, it was not.
No. We just saw him at the bar.
We just saw him at the bar.
He got arrested right after that.
He was already drinking, but I could see how he was drinking the tequila. I said, he's going to be finished.
Yeah, he's getting arrested tonight.
Yeah, I kind of knew it.
He is sober since then.
Really?
We don't drink no more.
Since that arrest,
we like drunk Hannibal, bro. We like that is a great guy. When he's drunk, oh my God, he's good, fun to hang out with.
Let me qualify, because he did say this to me. Because I said, you sober now? He said, listen, I just don't drink. So.
Oh, he does. Yeah, that's real. That's real. Holy moly, guacamole, man.
Yo, I want to ask you, how long you had your studio in Midtown Manhattan? I came in like once or twice.
7, 8 years, and that shit. That was like my best, worst investment.
This is a 25 to life shit?
No, this mine's all thugged out, all my
it was
shit.
nice.
Nice
location.
Yeah, I had the best location. We didn't have the best equipment. We didn't have the best anything else. Just the best location.
And just a futon in that motherfucker.
We had a futon, but Mariah Carey was there. What I noticed was back then was people didn't want to come see me in Queens because they just thought that whatever part of Queens he's from, it got to be bad. which was not right. Which was not the truth. Then when I went in Jersey. I had a studio in Jersey. People didn't want to travel. They felt like Jersey was out of town. I had my joint was in Weehawken, which was like the next town to get over. But no one could convince them. Bridge. But when I got the Hood Lab, it was on 32nd and Madison, between 31st and 32nd and Madison. It was the perfect location for everyone from Mariah Carey to Diamond D, to Big Tigger, to EFN, to everybody would go because their hotels is 10 minutes away.
Right.
Everyone's saying. So
that's why the rent is high over there.
It was so, exactly. It was so.
Now, you was our hotel. We stayed in
And listen, it was dope because at the time, they didn't look at me as a person that's going to send an invoice. So if I were to put N.O.R.E. Studios, because I had to send invoices for people booking sessions. I literally paid myself to record my own album at my own studio.
Right.
But they wouldn't give me the money like Homeboy Exchange. I had to literally make a studio session, log in, and then present Def Jam with a joint. So that's the reason why we recorded the Hood Lab instead of like N.O.R.E. Studio. But it was a great investment. I should have actually made it a real studio where other people could rent it out. Because if you didn't know me, you wouldn't rent this shit out. Listen to me. What's her name? Evie Queen. The reggaeton artist, Evie Queen. So she came to record. And we were like foul niggas. Like we foul niggas. Let's just be clear. Our maid was fired indefinitely forever. Right? I'm talking about we didn't mop, we didn't do none of that. And Evie Queen.
That shit was hella
But
dirty.
it was a vibe though. You would go there and make 5, 6 records because we had a vibe, but we didn't really clean. We cleaned once, maybe twice a month. So it just had the vibe. I was trying to make D&D.
Right. I was just about to say it's not like
D&D, but
with less equipment.
Yes. Like we would have the NPC with the NPC box on it. Right. Like they came in, usually somebody will buy a table. No. We just kept the box that came on the NPC.
And why not?
So I'll get back to this story. Evie Queen is starting to record, and in the room that she recorded in, we had carpet. But she walks out of the room that we recorded in, and without her shoes on, I was like, no! Please go put your shoes back on! We got mice! We got little critters here! We got shit I don't want to just jump on your foot. She was like, what? My bitch from the ghetto. I was like, this might be worse than the ghetto, man. Like for real. There might be heroin things on the floor. You gotta be
mice on Madison.
On Madison. So each year the rent got higher and higher, but it was dope for me to learn this experience. So what's your favorite part of hip hop? Is it making the record, performing the record?
Everything. But as a producer, creating something out of nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the dopest feeling for me. Mm. What about you?
The fact that black people, marginalized people, people who come from nothing could take art and create a megaphone to broadcast what we experience globally.
Right.
I think it's fly.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, I like how he worded that.
I like that. you know,
couldn't word any better than that.
You know, I don't know. You know this era. I remember we used to have to wait for our albums to come out in England. Like they would literally come out 2 months later.
Yeah, the UK versions.
Yeah, and then it would be the UK version.
Right,
and now the fact that you can just
Yeah.
make an album and that shit could be in Japan the same day. It's in 40 projects and it could be in same day it's in Brooklyn.
Get them,
it
hit
could
them
be
booking
in,
agents up.
Yeah, it could be in Osaka and all that. I think that. Did you think? What do y'all think about streaming though?
Man, I've been having this conversation all
It's a complex
month.
one. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, man, because the people, like street, like because this NFT shit is popping off right now.
NFT,
That
right?
shit is ill.
It's just popping off
Like
right
we can
now.
sell a picture of us right now off a picture of us, and that could be worth $6,000.
If we
digital art.
if we get with the right people,
Right.
get with the right team, we could sell it and become millionaires, possibly.
And
Potentially.
get the royalties as it gets resold.
Yeah.
Which
So
is a
now
different
you have a
thing.
situation where streaming was always unfair. The price point is unfair, but if you create something, you get to create the price point, just like any business. But the thing that makes it the most unfair is that we don't get to see. With Apple, we get to see, but with Tidal, Spotify, something we don't get to see.
You think you get to see with
Netflix-
Apple. You think you get to
but
see.
you really don't, right?
Right.
We don't get to see the whole shit. So it's like they telling us, look, this is your percentage, but they're not telling us what they making.
Right.
They're not telling us, and that's the whole problem with it, is that it's not transparent. We making pieces of a penny for each stream.
Terrible.
You saw that joke
$1 million
Trevor
streams
Noah
like
did
what?
on the Grammy.
I
That
reposted
joke
it.
was hilarious. Yeah.
But the problem is
Not
that
even niggas monthly.
you have to make a decision as a businessman and a creator. Are you a populist who wants the people to hear whatever you got to hear, or are you only in it for your bread and you don't care if a small elite group of people hear it?
Right.
Because if you're a populist, then you're going to work within the system. 90% of music consumers are getting their shit from Spotify.
Right.
So if you're a populist, you want your shit on Spotify. You want people to hear it. They not, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you if that's not important to you, well, then you could just make your shit exclusive and only a certain people. Rock Marciano, certain artists have figured it out.
Right.
They have made it to whereas Nipsey figured it out.
Yeah.
You can follow their example, but that's where the conflict is for artists right now. It's like, do you sell your soul so that the masses can hear your shit? Or do you keep it more exclusive?
Mm-hmm.
Or finding that balance.
Or find the balance.
Where you utilize what's there now, but you're always working towards getting away from that. Yeah. Like a Strange Music, where they found that the physical
great example.
side, they've been able to sell physical like no other label has today.
Yeah. To whereas Tech Nine is number 3 on the Forbes list in terms of touring income.
Right. But then pandemics hit, and that's the type of things that affect.
Speaking of that, have that affected your bag? Like, as far as not being able to do shows? Has that been affected for you? Because I know, like, big overseas.
I mean, for me, it annihilated my business.
Wow.
Because my entire business model was based around touring. I
just stopped having my shit based around touring a year ago. A year
right on time, right?
Yeah, right on time.
So I'm very blessed that I found certain situations and I figured some shit out.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, to whereas I could still, I just, a good opportunity for me to plug my book. I had a book deal. I wrote my book. I've been trying to get the book out, but when the pandemic hit, I focused on that. I was like, let me focus on getting the book. It's a book. It's called Vibrate Higher.
Vibrate Higher?
Yep. I got my copy.
You got your copy?
It's out already?
It's
Damn,
out. It's getting rave reviews. It's my autobiography mixed in with social commentary and the history of the hip hop I was listening to at the time.
Wow. Let's make some noise for that, goddamn.
Thank you. So I've been, but it's been very. People don't like to hear artists or celebrities complain,
right?
Because we chose this. You know what I'm saying? But it's been very hard to figure it out. But I've been blessed to be able to pivot in a way that I have.
Hey, it's Joe Buck and Oliver Hudson, and we have a podcast called Daddy Issues, a production of iHeartRadio and Cavalry Audio. On the show, we talk about being dads and friends and parenting and everything that's going on in our lives as working fathers.
Join us every Thursday for brand new episodes. We have a ton of exciting guests, hilarious segments coming up that you're not going to want to miss. Listen to Daddy Issues on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Dr. Laurie Santos. I'm a psychology professor at Yale, and I started to notice that a lot of my students weren't all that happy. So I created a new class.
Welcome, everybody, to Psychology and the Good Life.
It became the biggest class in the history of Yale.
I'm a little bit surprised to see as many of you are here, but that's great.
But it's not just my students who need to understand the science of well-being. And that's why we launched the Happiness Lab, so you can learn about it too. Are you ready to feel happier? Head to the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen.
Now, Diamond, you worked with 45 King.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Right. How was that? I never got to work with him. As a producer, I always kind of admired it. I never got a chance. How was that? How was the experience with you?
With the 45 King?
Yeah.
I was a fan. He from the Bronx. Right. But at that time, I didn't know. You know what I mean? But shouts out to Mark. Mark is the one... in the early 90s, Russell Simmons had a thing called RPM, Rush Producers Management. Easy Mo B was over there. It was a few other producers was over there. A lot of Professor was over there. And, 45 King, he made a phone call and he got me, he set up a meeting with me over there. This is when Francesca Spiro was over there.
Wow.
And they wound up signing me. So, he had a big hand, in my early production career. Him. And shouts out to my man DJ Jazzy J, of course. He's the one who taught me the foundations of production.
Y'all want to do a shot? I'll do a shot.
Yeah.
I'll do a shot. How about Showbiz and AG? How was it working with them? Showbiz and AG.
Come on, we grew up with each other.
Yeah.
So, it's just family.
We need them up here too.
That was a tough album.
Right. You made that whole album?
Oh, nah. I co-produced Can I Get a Soul Clap?
Oh.
Me and Showbiz, we both did that joint.
Okay.
So that was one of their first big joints. Mm-hmm. Then they went on to do other great things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Did you think hip hop and how pure it was? You think that now that we would have an artist like Cardi B doing I think she did 100 million the other day, or she's the first.
Bro, some crazy.
She's the first female artist.
Shouts out to Cardi B.
And from the Bronx. But it's it's dope. It's dope.
Back then,
I personally love Cardi B. But it's so different from what.
Back then, you already know, in the 90s, it was just, lyricism was really taken seriously.
Right. Everybody got their shots ready?
You know what I mean?
You got your shot, Tyler?
I'm going to do a shot of what I already got.
Okay, cool. Very smart. You learned from Drink Champs lesson?
I did.
Salud, listen, we don't know if y'all know, but this is about, in this business, it's about giving people these flowers to their face. You guys are two of greats. I can't believe I can't wait to hear how this album sound. Can't wait to read the book. Can't wait to keep supporting. That's what we do over here. We support each other, man. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, I got my DJ Khaled jacket on.
Shout out to
I bought. I didn't get this for free $3.99. Salud. Goddamn.
Make sure y'all check out Organic Food Kings. Organic Food Kings. We got some food for y'all right here.
I had a steak from Organic Food Kings.
Organic Food Kings.
No, I'm going to tell you, when I was
vegan shit.
Organic Food Kings, they said, come through, we're going to take care of you. So I was like, I got to go through because they showed me so much love. Right. I went through, but I was on my way to the airport. Right. And I was like, I don't want to eat vegan food in the car.
You think it makes you shit?
I don't want to eat vegan food in the car with the mask and shit on the way to the airport. Right. And I'm like, it's not going to be good when I get to the airport. And I was like, I'm going to go anyway. Right. And I went anyway.
Right.
Got the shit. And ate the shit at the airport. And the shit was
still
wild good.
Was you farting?
No, I wasn't farting.
Cool. That's what I'm talking about. No farts over here, baby.
Oh, the true Drink Champs question. Was you farting?
Yeah, there's no fart vegan food, because a lot of vegan food making me fart.
Hey.
I don't even know.
Hey.
You ever fuck with vegan food up there?
A little bit, yeah.
You doing? Man, fuck
not
around,
as deep
man.
as my man right here.
Yeah.
I mean, fart, huh?
Yeah, sometimes I be farting. I ain't gonna lie.
Sometimes
This interview is ridiculous. This interview is going off the rails.
Hey, man. Sometimes it's a good, healthy fart.
Sometimes? Is that that's what the song was about?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta fart. Sometimes you gotta fart and break. Sometimes you gotta fart and say. You know what I'm saying? It happens, man. It happens, man. Oh, let me finish the rest.
D, you gotta talk a little bit about Big L and the legacy of Big L and working with Big L.
Yes.
I feel like we don't talk enough about Big L.
I mean, you know, Big L, definitely was on his way to being one of the greatest.
I think, man.
You know, people already look at him that way, and he's been dead all these years. You know what I mean? Especially that one freestyle session he had with Jay-Z on the Stretch Armstrong show.
Stretch and Barbados, yeah.
He kind of handled Jay-Z up there.
Wow, okay.
And then he was supposed to be signed to Rockefeller.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, what can you say? Lamont, definitely one of the best lifestyles of the
Poor and Dangerous.
Yeah. Dangerous, right? Then the second album, The Big Picture, that wound up going gold, and he wasn't even here to see that.
And all the indie stuff he did. And
was Big L like the first Scott LaRock was? When the streets got involved with a rapper killing, but I was about to add, let me correct myself. I think Scott LaRock was the first one.
Yeah, that was a D Nice beef. He went over here to squash it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who, Big L?
Nah, Scott LaRock.
Oh,
Scott LaRock.
It was I think you said a D Nice beef.
Beef,
I think you said a D Nice beat. Oh, that's why I'm like, really?
Why Scott LaRock got killed? That was the DJ D Nice beef.
Really? I've never heard this. You would like to talk about that?
No, I think I've seen this somewhere.
Yeah. Evidently, he went over there to try to squash it.
Word.
He was a social worker. He was doing
Right.
crazy, dope
Scott
shit in the
LaRock.
community. Yeah.
Scott LaRock. Wow.
But he's still in the hood like that.
But definitely, Big L, definitely going too soon.
Right.
What was your favorite Big L joint, if you had to pick one?
I ain't gonna lie. I gotta pick them all. Like I've never heard a Big L record. I've never heard excuse me. Let me go deeper than that. I've never heard a Big L verse.
Okay.
Like I've never heard a verse where he just, my favorite moment was I didn't even know he knew who I was.
Okay.
And I said this on the Cam interview the other day. He was like, yo. There's like, yo, L, you fell back. It seemed like you wasn't rapping. He's like, no, I wasn't inspired until Cam, N.O.R.E, and DMX. And I was like, this nigga said N.O.R.E? I was like,
that's crazy.
He's a hero to me. Like, I still be bugging out. Like, when a person like, Shaq, be like, what up, N.O.R.E? Like, what? You know who I am? Like, because I downplayed myself. But that was my favorite moment. He had rhymed right before that. And just the fact that he had recognized me, because I don't think he understood how much I admired him. You know what I mean? So, like, I never expect a person I'm a fan of to be a fan of me. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't take away.
Me neither,
it doesn't take away. Right, like if I find out you're not a fan, I'll be like, all right, it's cool. I still respect you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, now let me switch the subject a little bit, right? One of my favorite rappers of all time is this guy named Granddaddy IU, right?
Yeah.
Granddaddy IU, that's one of my number ones, right? But I never wanted to sound like Granddaddy IU. Okay. Why is everybody right now, you could say, yo, a new kid could come out and his name could be Smoke Champ. Right. And he could say, yo, who's your favorite artist? You go, I like Future. And we could be like, we know, because we hear Future all in your shit.
Yo, real quick, didn't you just post something with Granddaddy IU?
Yeah, I did. But I want to, but go ahead, Noah.
No,
I'll come back to that.
Okay, let me come back to that. But why is these guys actually sounding like the people that they're admiring and things like that? What is going on with this culture? What do you think?
I think that hip hop at some point, like every art form that becomes mainstream, started being made on an assembly line type of thing. And to whereas they like, okay, especially when the radio station started being owned by certain corporations.
Owning it across the country.
Yeah, across the country. You went from regional DJs and program directors having power to the point where it's like, well, you got to follow the playlist handed down from
no more
national.
Regional sounds, no more city sounds.
None of that. So it just becomes a contest to see who makes the most whoppers.
Yeah, cookie cutter shit.
Yeah, and I think that so kids who grew up listening to music like that, we grew up in an era where we heard different influences. Right. Or like if you somebody who traveled, you went from New York to Miami, there's a whole different sound.
Right.
And so you were able to. Do you remember when like Uncle Luke used to come to New York? It was a party. He used to hang out with Red Alert and Funk Flex and all them, and it was like Uncle Luke's in town. We gonna do this Miami thing, but it was like definitely a different thing. And I think the culture is missing sort of that respect for different, what I will say, indigenous sounds.
Right.
And I think that that's the whole problem. So kids who growing up these days just like how we grew up wanting to be successful. And we looked at our favorite artists and said, that's how you do it, okay.
To be different, to be creative. That was the blueprint of success that was being
now
taught
success
to us.
is you just copy the next nigga.
Right.
They look at that and they say, okay, that's working. There was an era when I came into business where
like there's mad fake drink champs out there. Let's big them up.
Yeah.
Big y'all up, big y'all up.
Some are successful though.
Yeah.
When I remember when I came in, that for me, the crew I was rolling with, what I noticed the shift was people stopped wanting to be dope MCs and dope DJs. Puff was killing it.
Right.
People stopped wanting to be dope MC. You would run into a motherfucker who love hip hop. I mean, what you do? You DJ? Nah, he said, "Nah, I'm a CEO. I'm an executive." People wanted to be record executive, industry people. And that was different for me.
Right.
I'm like, I never wanted to be a record industry person, but now it's a thing that somebody wants to be. Oh, I want to be a mogul. I want to be. Ain't nothing wrong with that, But it just that shifted. And so now kids, they see what's going on. They just want to be like this certain artist. And why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they want to be like that? That's obviously a path to success. Right. They don't get the real though. They don't know that that's a once in a lifetime thing. They don't know that 1 out of 1 million make it. They don't know that. So it becomes copies.
Right. Shout out to the legend Jarobi who just walked in.
the goddamn Now, Diamond D, has there ever been a time, you come from the no commercial era. Like, y'all motherfuckers was making the
It was whack to be on the radio. I mean, do we all not remember this era?
Kinda, So
crossover? EPMD? Like, you're not supposed to be on the radio.
Has there ever been a time a record label like came to you and said, yo, I want a crossover record? And if so, did you ever do it?
Probably the closest I came to that was the Black Panther soundtrack, that song Freedom. It had all the top female artists singing on it.
Oh, really? Pull this up, guys. Pull this up. Yeah. I want to see if you went commercial. I'm trying to check you out.
I mean, I would. You know what I mean? I'm commercial too, baby. It's a business. You know what I mean? You don't want to if you're a producer, you don't want to be pigeonholed into one thing.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you never got
doing yourself a disservice.
You know how like they would say it's a premier sound, or do you feel like Diamond D has a sound? Is there a certain sound to Diamond D?
Some would say I do, but I I guess in certain instances I
feel like you have a sound.
If you listen to the Dime Piece albums, right? I mean, it's fluid, but every joint is different.
I gotta say though, I can't pick a Diamond D beat.
Like, so you can't listen to a beat and say Diamond
you can't
D.
pick it up.
I mean, if you tell me Diamond made it, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But even with this Gotham album, there's so many different textures and sounds and flavors that I'm not like. It's not like I hear a beat and I'm like, oh, that's definitely a Diamond D.
Right.
I don't have
like how Pharrell and like Premier, you hear Pharrell,
but it's not bad to be able to.
Oh, that's ill. That's ill.
There's nothing wrong with having a signature.
But it's also ill having a signature sound too. It's also ill because like
it's nothing wrong with it.
Because everybody has this run when you're a producer where it's like
now a producer might be able to do it. Like Premier, you could answer this question better. Premier, Pete Rock, or somebody might be able to be like, that's a Diamond D beat.
Right.
They might be trained, but I can't do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They might know the sounds you usually use.
Right. They might know more.
Maybe they know the snare you use.
Right. You know what's hella crazy that Jarobi just came here and didn't I just say? I just watched a documentary on
And then he just leans back like it ain't shit.
Yo, no. That's crazy. It just fucking me up. I just brought this up. I had no idea you was coming through. I just brought it up. Shit, we gonna bring you in, bro. Fuck it, man. Might as well. But quick time slide. Okay, y'all ready? All right, so now we're gonna do this real quick. We're gonna bring Jarobi in.
What are we gonna do?
This is quick time slide.
Run quick answers. He wants an A and B answer.
Okay.
It's an A and B answer, but if you want to say both, it's cool. You just gotta take a shot.
If you say both, you gotta take a shot.
If you want to be political, you gotta take the shot.
You gotta take the shot. If you want to be political, you gotta take the shot. Okay. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
First, but this is saying Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z.
Oh. I'm taking a shot.
Take a shot. Good. I like that.
Hey, man.
Oh, listen. Take that and then just fill yourself up again because I just know this.
You know?
Yeah, you don't gotta make yourself a crazy shot.
You think you know me, huh?
I think so. I think it might. I'm not sure where Diamond going with it.
I'll be in solidarity with you.
But Nas Ether was better.
Okay. I respect that.
No doubt.
But
All
you
right.
went with Jay, no caveats. No caveats.
Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, you ready? I'm starting with you.
Okay.
Big L or Big Pun? Ooh. I'm gonna take a shot with you for that.
Yeah, I'm opening up the new Mama Wonder King.
I gotta put my game face on for this.
And I think. Hold on, we didn't ask Diamond yet. Hold on.
Wonder King.
Big L or Big Pun?
Ábreme esta mierda, bro.
Taking a shot? Just take the shot, man.
There's something wrong with it, right?
Big Pun's rhymes to me were a little more. His rhyme schemes were a little more intricate. Doesn't mean that he was better or not, but his rhyme was just a little more intricate, in my opinion, than Big L at that time.
Okay.
I mean, they both giants, but that's my answer.
I don't know what that answer means. Hold on.
He's saying Big Pun. I would assume.
Okay, Big Pun. All right, cool.
I would say Big Pun.
Okay, all right, cool. I'm taking
only because of his rhyme structure.
What happened to the bottle?
Okay.
Diamond keeps
his rhyme structure.
All right. I'm taking a shot.
We MCs, right?
We keep it real. I'm about to walk out here fucked up and miss my gig like I did last time I did drink.
Oh, don't do that. We don't want to fuck up your bag right
You
now.
take your shot because I'm starting with you with this.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna start having to fucking answer these questions.
Kanye or Premier?
In terms of what?
Production.
They only in one category.
In terms of just production. Just straight production.
Just straight production.
Premier.
Okay, that's good.
Premier.
Okay.
Let me get that lighter.
Mos Def or Common?
Who are you asking that to?
Both of y'all niggas.
In terms of what?
I thought you was down.
Like in terms of what? Like acting skill? What you talking about?
Acting skill.
We're talking about acting, right? In terms of acting skill?
No, he said MC.
We're talking
MCing.
MC. Common is an MC motherfucker.
Of course.
And so is Mos Def. I watched that motherfucker.
That's a good
Mos Def on the Dave Chappelle riding through Brooklyn. I think it was Brooklyn.
Right. That's a good
Don't
pair.
push me, cause
in
the
passenger seat.
Well, so listen, you gotta be careful.
That's a good pair, but they totally different
I'm gonna
styles.
teach you how to answer and still be politically correct.
I need to hear this.
Let's see
I'm
this.
gonna answer
And if I'm satisfied, I'm gonna take a shot for you. But if not, you gotta take a shot.
I'm gonna give an answer.
Okay, let's go.
Right? I'm gonna pick Mos Def.
You should have.
And that's all I gotta say.
I did not. Common? Okay, I can see that. All right. This is going to be crazy. Look, Jarobi doesn't even know he was here. Midnight Marauders or Low End Theory? Ooh. Shot time?
Jarobi got to leave the room.
Jarobi got to answer the question too.
No, we don't want your answer.
Because we're having a real deep hip hop discussion.
We need his answer too.
In terms of what?
It's just
album.
Yeah, it's Quick Quiet Slime doesn't have much deepness to it.
I really want Jarobi's answer.
After. We're going to get his after, but we don't want him to fuck up your opinion. So we want to hear yours first.
Remember, you can go both. I'll drink with you.
I'm going to say... Midnight Marauder.
As a producer, Midnight Marauder.
Okay.
Definitely you just heard the progression in the production.
Jarobi?
That was hard. That was hard, by the way. That was hard.
Turn the camera to Jarobi.
He's Diamond D's right? But my favorite is Low End Theory. That's Fife's version.
Wow. Let's make some noise for that, goddammit.
I'm going to take a shot just for that.
The emergence of Fife Dog.
All right.
But it's like Godfather and Godfather 2. There is no Midnight Marauders without Low End Theory. Or without People's Instinct.
Okay. Miami or LA? Either one of y'all could go.
Miami, that's easy.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's a lot of Miami motherfuckers in here right now.
I didn't even think about that after the fact, man. Also that.
They both said Miami. Now, this one right here, I'm up in the air. Independent or major?
Independent.
Independent.
You losing these, man. We have this independent versus major debate.
I'm a major guy.
And I'm not talking independent.
Tell me why you're a major guy.
Because I'm lazy to a certain extent.
That's
real shit. That's real shit. That's real shit.
Because sometimes you just need a good partner to handle the business. So you can just. I get that.
Yeah, you know, I love that. But let's get out a quick time of slime and then we'll come back. Oh, okay. It's not gonna be good for you. Buck Wild or Large Pro?
Oh man.
Take the shot? Take the shot. I'm
gonna take the shot.
Take the shot. Solid. I think you're taking the shot too. I feel like you're taking the shot too. That's hard to pick.
I'm going with Large Pro.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I'm going Large Pro, not because all respect due to the great legendary Buck Wild.
Yeah.
Okay. Legendary. But for me personally, you know, sometimes you have a personal relationship with art. What Large Professor did for me personally with that Breaking the Adams album.
Wow.
I was living with that album.
Wow.
And it was like a
You feel
personal
like he made it for you.
It was a personal thing.
Okay, I respect that. You shouldn't take a shot for that. All right. Back to Brooklyn. Little Kim or Foxy Brown?
I think somebody had that already. But use this.
It was just woman power, remember? Woman power. Wait, no, this is tequila? Oh, that's Ciroc? Okay, I'm in. I take this shot. I'm interested to hear what you're going to say. Little Kim or Foxy Brown? Another shot? Because that's your old shot.
Yo, I'm taking this game. I'm playing this game with my friends.
Just credit us.
I like Foxy a little more.
Okay, all right, I respect that. Big you up, sis. Woo. 4-5 King or Showbiz?
You asking me?
Yeah, he asking you.
Yeah.
I'm going with 45 King.
Okay.
Just because of that Godfather analogy I made earlier.
Okay.
One can't come without the other.
Right.
Where we going, Diamond?
Drinking whiskey?
Yeah, you might as well.
This segment was sponsored by.
All right.
Because they both made joints that only they could have made. I can't really answer that.
Yeah, my boy Breon. I'll be pulling up. All right. I think this one should fairly be
How long
easy.
is this game?
No, this is three more questions.
It's long time of slime.
It's only three more questions. Okay. This one should fairly be easy for both of y'all. Stretch and Bobbito versus The Wake Up Show.
I'm going with Stretch and Bob because of personal experience.
I'm going with Stretch and Bob too. Sorry, Sway.
Sorry, King Tech.
Sorry, King Tech.
We just.
I'm gonna bounce it out with Sway and King Tech.
You gonna take a shot for that?
Nobody asked you.
Okay, Cardi B or Nicki Minaj?
Nicki.
That was fast. Taking a shot? Because remember, woman improvement.
What does that have to do with this answer?
I don't know. I just want to take another shot.
They're both women. It's both.
Nicki Minaj or Cardi B? In terms of what? They do a lot of things.
Being an MC.
They're very talented.
That's an artist.
I see Cardi B do some shit.
Talib's the only lawyer during quick time of
I see Cardi
slime.
B do some shit on the Grammys the other night that nobody.
You can pass me that lighter, Diamond D?
So what are we talking about here? In terms of what?
In terms of whatever you want it to be.
Artist, overall artist.
Overall artist.
Yeah.
See, you're throwing curveballs over here.
He said 10 minutes.
Overall artist. I reserve the right to change my answer. I reserve the right to change my answer in 10 years.
Okay.
Oh, wait, what? Never heard this.
So in 10 years, we have to, even if we're not doing Dream Champs, we're going to come back
I reserve
and do
the right
this
to change
again.
my answer in 10 years.
Okay.
But as of now,
Yes.
as incredible as Cardi B is, Nicki Minaj has done some shit. So I'm going with Nicki.
Okay. All right. That took a long time.
I didn't think about it.
All right. This should be fair. No, you might be taking a shot to this. Oh, y'all taking shots on three. Dipset or the Locks?
Locks.
Locks.
Really? That was very easy. I didn't think you guys would go.
No, listen, Dipset is incredible. Dipset
I can't
changed
answer
the
that
game.
question.
Dipset changed the game.
Right.
But for me personally, that's what it is. And now we get into the question you had. It's about how you personally feel, how something hits you.
Right, exactly. I respect that. Okay. Red alert or kick a pre? Oof.
I'm going
taking
red
my
alert.
shot right now.
I'm going red alert. I'm going with because
that should be the Godfather No analogy as well.
I'm going red alert because I got into hip hop like 85, 86, 87. And around the time when I got into hip hop, I wasn't in the streets. Right. I was a little kid. My hip hop experience came from listening to Red Alert or Kiss FM and Jeff Fox, The Rocks the Box, and all that type of shit.
You taking your shot?
Diamond is from the Bronx.
This from the last joint.
Okay,
but I got an answer for this.
You got an answer?
My answer is Red Alert because Red Alert influenced Kid Capri.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the Godfather thing.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, my answer should be Red Alert too.
He influenced Kid Capri.
I had so much more experience. Like, it was me going to Kid Capri's parties that made me say this might be the baddest DJ.
Oh yeah.
Listen, Kid Capri is not to be. His name is not to be slandered.
Right.
And Kid Capri and his production on the Big L shit and certain shit he's done for the culture.
Kid Capri's a legend.
The Jay-Z joint he produced
from Def Comedy Jam and just like Kid Capri. And even just now, I reposted some shit Kid Capri posted on Instagram about making sure you work with people who really appreciate you. And I was like, yo, just so everybody knows, I need to work with Kid Capri. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Kid Capri is an absolute legend. He's one of my favorite human beings.
Right.
Fuck DJ.
And he'd probably say Red Alert.
He's one of my favorite human beings.
Right. Yeah, I was in I think I was in D.C. one day with him, the next day in North Carolina, the next day somewhere else, and he would equally rock the party with different sets. Like, he wouldn't repeat his sets. And that was the first time I had saw that.
His sets were organic.
And let it be known.
He would make it towards the people that he was playing for.
Red Alert can't do what Kid Capri do.
Right.
But Kid Capri is not Red Alert.
Right. Okay, this is the last one. It's pretty much 80s or the 90s.
That's a fucking good question.
I think it is.
In terms of what?
Era. 10 year gap.
But
that 10 year 80.
That 10 years what fucks it up. The 10. Because if you shift the 10 between 85 and 95.
I'm going with the 80s.
To go with MC Hammer and them niggas. That's the one.
No.
What you got?
MC Hammer does not define it. See, that's
and not for nothing. Looking back, MC Hammer is fucking amazing.
This is why I asked.
Looking back now,
this is why I asked. When I said in terms of what, are we talking about specifically hip hop? Are we talking about the era? Are you talking about because
specifically hip hop?
Well, then my answer changed to the 90s.
Okay, yeah. Okay, why?
Because the 80s, when you said 80s versus 90s in terms of era. In terms of era,
right,
the 80s is superior.
Yeah, but the 80s, end of 80s hip hop set up the 90s hip hop.
Yeah. 90s hip hop is
the end of the 80s was.
It's great, but it's set up by the late 80s.
But in terms of hip hop,
right. Yeah.
90s hip hop. If you go to any party on the planet, any party on the planet right now,
right? No, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
And you play any type of music. If the DJ decide that he want to do 15, 20 minutes of just 90s hip hop,
no, you're right.
That's going to be the best part of the party.
Wow,
I ain't thinking about it like that, but you're right.
If he played nothing,
right,
the DJ doing nothing.
Nah, nothing is in 2000.
Oh, that's just 2000.
What?
From a 90s artist. From a 90s artist.
Yeah.
If you're doing Annie Up.
Yes.
If you're doing scenario, if you're doing scenario, if you're doing House of Pain, Jump Around.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? If the DJ's doing House of Pain, Jump Around, and a scenario, and then Annie Up,
some Cypress Hill,
and then Biggie, No Money, More Money, More Problems, and then how Just Kill a Man, and if you go into a Public Enemy set, if you do Fight the Power, what are we? Fight the Power is the 80s.
That's late 80s.
That's 80s.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's 80s.
It gets a blur. That's why if you say 85 to 95, that's the best era.
Right? As a producer, I would say 90s because the late 80s is when the sampler becomes in effect. And hip-hop got away from the live instrumentation of the early to mid 80s.
Can we bring them in without taking a break?
So it was more of getting back to the essence. You know what I mean? So that would be my answer.
So 1988 1988.
What?
Is the best year of hip hop of all time.
What, Google told you that?
Yeah, I ain't listening to Google.
You saw me Googling it, right?
Yeah, I ain't listening to Google. Fuck Google.
No. 1988 is the best year. 1988 is when everything changed. And I did Google it because I wanted to see.
NWA, Public Enemy.
Takes a Nation of Millions to hold us back. Great Adventure of Slick Rick.
Absolutely.
Straight Outta Compton. Strictly Business, EPMD.
Mm-hmm.
Long Live the Kane.
It's all 88?
88.
Yeah,
Follow the Leader.
Yep.
By Any Means Necessary.
Yep.
Straight Out the Jungle. He's the DJ, I'm the rapper.
Wow.
Critical Beatdown.
Wow.
Tougher Than Leather. Light as a Rock.
MC Light.
Easy Does It. Going Off, Bismarck E.
The Bismarck is going off. The Bismarck is going off. Go.
And what else?
In Full Gear, Stetsasonic. Talking all that jazz.
All in 88, crazy.
In Control, Volume 1, Symphony.
For Marley Marl.
Right. Act a Fool, King T.
But look listen.
Go ahead. Power, Ice-T. Assault with a Deadly Pepper.
All right, so that's 1988?
All this 88. It
All
Takes Two, Rob Ace.
One of the best records of all
What
time.
More Can I Say? Audio 2. The World's Greatest Entertainer. Dougie Fresh. He rises.
All that in 1 year? I need you to Google
Jesus
1998.
No, I'm going to tell you the next year to come after that. I've done my research.
The next year after this is 89 now?
No.
You're like, is it 89? Is that the next year?
The next year that got as many dope albums as that is 96. 96 is ill.
All right, who's in 96 in this chart?
I feel like Talib's in 96.
I didn't come out to 98.
Okay. I was told, that's my first year I told you to Google next. It was 98, because that's a 10-year span.
98.
No, you said 88.
98 is my year.
Yeah, 88 to 98.
But really quick, before you say those, everything you mentioned in 88 set up the 90s. All that music influenced everything that happened in the early 90s.
Right.
Yeah, what you reading? This is what year is this? 96 or 98?
Okay, that was 88.
Okay, 88.
Okay, 96 is. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
All right, let me start.
Okay.
Tupac, All Eyes on Me.
Fire.
The Fugees, The Score.
Yep.
Fire. You got a Grammy for that, right?
Mad Skills from Where? Wasn't in commercials. Wasn't in commercials.
No. That's a classic album.
That's a class album. We had Mad Skills.
Conscious Daughters, Gamers, Bahamadia Collage.
Classic.
Bahamadia.
Smooth the Hustler, Once Upon
Classic.
a Time in America.
Okay.
Classic.
Busta Rhymes, The Coming.
Classic.
Okay. That's 96?
It's 96.
Go ahead.
Right? Beastie Boys, The End Sound from Way Out. Ghetto Boys, The Resurrection. Master P, Ice Cream Man. I might be wrong about 96.
Yeah, 96 is not 88.
Yeah, De La Soul Six is high.
Classic.
Nas It Was Written.
Classic.
X Wild Cowboys. Beach
Classic.
Rhymes of Life. Tribe Called Quest.
Classic.
AT Aliens.
Classic.
No, it's not the same.
Not the same.
Bring him in without taking a break.
Not the
Without taking a break.
88.
Let's do 98. Let's do 98, and then let's wrap it up. Let's do.
And I'm gonna take a PP8.
All right, cool. We're gonna bring you in. We don't take a break.
We need
Bring Jarobi in, but I don't want to take a break though. You can go use the bathroom though if you want.
No, I'm good.
Okay, yeah, I'm cool for right now.
No, so 98 was what?
98.
Okay, so 98 is the year that Black Star came out.
Okay.
In September of 98,
Okay.
5 hip-hop classics dropped. In
Really?
September of 98. The same day that the Black Star album dropped.
Is that not 9/11?
No.
Okay.
98. The same day that the Black Star album dropped.
Well, read the whole year for 98.
No, but I'm Black Star dropped 98.
Okay, September 98.
September 98.
Okay.
Aquemini. 400 Degrees, Juvenile. Capital Punishment, Big Pun. The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Foundation by Brand Nubian. Beats, Rhymes, and Life by Tribe Called Quest. Moment of Truth by Gangstar. 98 might be the year.
98, but I'm telling you. N.O.R.E. better be there somewhere.
Not Beats, Rhymes, and Life, The Love Movement.
Okay.
Which N.O.R.E. was on.
Which I was on, yes.
98.
My only Tribe Called Quest.
I don't know why I keep calling it. Okay, this one's about to seal the deal. Money, Power, Respect by the Lox.
We could go head over 8 and 8.
I'm about to seal it. ELE by Busta Rhymes. Can I Bust by Cannabis.
Wow, okay.
Still Standing by the Goody Mob. Wow. This is a slept-on album. Soul Survivor by P-Rock.
Wow. Okay.
I already mentioned, remember I
think
said...
I'm on Soul Survivor too, yep.
Remember I said Brand Nubian Foundation?
Right.
That came out
in 98.
Hello Nasty by the Beastie Boys. That's a fucking good album.
Wow.
What, another year now?
98. Hello Nasty. You know what? N.O.R.E, thank you. 98 is my new 96.
Yeah.
98 was a good year.
That's my favorite year of my life.
Flesh, Blood of My Blood by DMX.
Yeah, that's my best year of my life.
What year you dropped, N.O.R.E?
98. I'm waiting for my album to pop up.
Right.
You ain't fucking with me?
This is an incredible album. El Nino by the Def Squad. Fat Joe, Don Carter Jr.
Classic.
I'm on that album too.
All right.
N.O.R.E.
Oh, I popped up. I'm there.
N.O.R.E.
I was looking good back then too.
N.O.R.E. by N.O.R.E.
Right.
Okay, but here's the album that I'm on that niggas don't even know. I'm not on this. Okay, I'm not on this album. I'm on a remix. Sons of Man.
Woo!
The last should be first, and the first should be last. Shout out to Heaven Raiser.
You're on that project?
I'm on a remix.
Okay.
I thought I was on the album.
Sons of Man's ill.
Killer Priest, 60 Second Assassin. DMX is Dark and His Hell is Hot.
Yeah, he got
DMX
two albums.
He got two in that year, yep.
Yeah.
He was the first artist in history
Yes.
to have platinum twice in 1 year.
I was there. Yeah.
98 was ill.
I was there.
Capadonna, The Pillage.
I was
N.O.R.E.
there.
You're right. N.O.R.E, this is the year.
I was there.
Bobby Digital.
And you,
Bobby Digital.
I'm gonna let you keep going. I'm gonna tell you how.
Exhibit, 40 Days, 40 Nights. That's what you see is what you get now.
Yep. Classic video.
MOP, First Family for Life.
Classic.
Woo. The Cool. Steal This album.
Classic. Rest in peace, the DJ, right? She passed away?
Ice Cube, War and Peace, Volume 1 and 2.
I'm on that too.
You on that?
I'm on
That's
that
why Ice
too.
Cube was dissing East Coast niggas.
No, I ain't on that.
Which one? The West Side Connection? What all over the place. What album was that? What album was that?
War and Peace, Volume 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah. Ice Cube was wilding out.
West Side Connection.
I'm on Ice Cube. I'm on. I think I'm on We Be Clubbing remix or something.
Yeah, you're on the remix. With DMX, right?
We Be Clubbing.
Corrupt.
But DMX is on the remix. Or on
Yo,
the
me and Mos Def used to do Black Star shows in that era, and we used to perform a version of that song, and we used to be like, we be clubbing, little baby seal, so we can make coats. We be clubbing.
Push it, wait. Push Rhymes like, wait. Okay.
Oh, Push, yeah, that's it.
What year was that?
That's what
That's
Corrupt.
1998. I'm still in 98.
That's a great joint,
All
too.
right, Spike Lee, He Got Game.
98? That's 98? I said I was on an Ice Cube record in 98.
Actually, I think that Ice Cube was pretty dope, actually.
Generation Effects. AC Alone, A Book of Human Language,
Dope.
which is actually a very good album.
No, very good album.
Black Eyed Peas, Behind the Front.
What?
That was before Fergie.
That was when there was the underground Black Eyed Peas.
Look at Talib getting his hip hop on. Go ahead, you hip hop professor ass nigga. Let's do it, man. That was hard.
It's 98.
He's doing 98.
It's 98, right?
98's looking like 88.
WC The Shadiest, Busta Rhymes The Imperial, Daz Dillinger Revenge Retaliation, Lyricist Lounge.
Wait,
Volume
Busta dropped 2
1.
albums that year?
The Lyricist Lounge.
Did you name Busta twice?
No, once.
Oh, okay, that was just once. Oh, all right,
I'm
cool.
on that Lyricist Lounge album.
Okay, god damn it.
Anybody want to be?
Tupac, no, that's Cameron, Confessions of Fire. That's what a nigga
I'm
had.
on that too.
Right, that's what a nigga had.
I'm on that too,
That's what
bro.
a nigga Cameron had.
You know what I'm saying? You know
He had the
what?
mallet.
Yo, listen,
He had the mallet.
Yo, listen, 98 was my favorite year, period, like, of my life. The only thing is bitter about it, my father died in the middle of my height. I don't even want to talk about it, but okay, let's finish.
Big Daddy Kane dropped Veterans Day, which is an underrated album.
Which one?
Veterans Day, Big Daddy Kane.
Oh, yeah.
Styles of Beyond, 2004, great album. Method Man, to Cal 2000.
Wow.
Shit. 98 is fucking... Shit. Corruption.
Oof, yeah.
Corruption.
Classic.
Onyx shut him down.
Classic.
Snoop Dogg, The game is to be sold, not to be told. With No Limit.
That's the No Limit. That's a classic too.
AZ Pieces of a Man.
Yeah, that's the best year.
That's a good year.
I learned on Drink Champs today that 1998.
Can mess with 1988. It depends. It's great. You know what we should do?
I'm gonna still give it to 88.
You know what? You know
88 still got it.
You know what's actually an ill versus? You know, listen. Because I love verses, and I'm actually a little bit a part of it. But the only thing that I didn't like, a little bit part of it. You know what I mean? Trying to say, but like I didn't like the D'Angelo bringing out people.
No, that was D'Angelo versus himself.
Yeah, D'Angelo versus himself.
That was D'Angelo versus his
if we're going to go there, why don't we do something like that? Where it's 1988 versus 1998 and have some of the artists.
That would be a logistical nightmare.
That would be dope. But it'd be like
shout out to D'Angelo, by the way, who's fucking killing it.
Have a great DJ.
And he had Keon Harold on there, and
that was dope.
Yeah.
No, it was dope, but it was just weird because it was D'Angelo versus
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo.
What you want from versus.
Yeah. But imagine you do 1988 versus 1998, and you have these artists. You get as much artists from both eras that's still alive. That's the beautifulest thing about coming to America. Is they got all the same actors, and you get these people perform their records. I think that would be.
So wait. Are you saying that you're a fan of Coming to America?
I love Coming to America too. Are you ready? We gonna have this conversation.
Are we gonna go there? Are we gonna get into it?
I think it was a well-made movie.
Oh, you're also a fan.
I don't understand what's there not to like about it.
Word.
You know what? I'm about to blow y'all minds.
You hated it?
I enjoyed it.
I love it.
It's not better, obviously,
because I know that people,
it was a good movie.
Listen, I'm a fan of movies. I know that people had a lot to say about it, but it's very hard to make a sequel.
Absolutely,
and
right. Of a classic on top.
The running theme of tonight is Godfather versus Godfather 2. I brought this up several times.
Right.
We'll title the episode. Don't worry about it.
I brought this up several times. Right. I enjoyed it because it was good to see my OGs and my heroes having fun.
Was
it as good as Coming to America? Absolutely not. But did I expect it to be as good as it?
Is not as good as
No, I did not expect it to be.
It was entertaining.
But it's still,
it was well made.
In its own.
It was good, man.
We got to support.
I didn't like the Fashion Nova part, and I didn't like the part where Homeboy started rapping. When he started rapping, I was like, "Come on, buddy!"
Right. It turned into Hamilton, and look at what I'm saying.
Come on, I ain't want that. I like your sexual chocolate before.
That was the very end.
That was the best part. But the reason why they had Fashion Nova and Pepsi and Puma,
is that what funded it?
And all the other brands is because when you make a movie, you get paid for the movie. So you get paid for the, But here's the thing: they should have. The only thing I will say creatively, the reason why Coming to America, the first one, was dope, is because it's a fish out of water story.
Right.
It's a fictional African character coming to New York City, Queens, and living. Right. This new movie took place in Zamunda.
Right.
If it take place in
They
New
built
York,
a fake Queens too. That was fake Queens. I was offended, but go ahead. They said it was Elmhurst. Nowhere else in the world.
Elmhurst is where Kid and Play is from.
Yo, listen, man. When they put the I'm rewinding. I'm looking. I'm blowing the city. They said Elmhurst, New York. I was like, that ain't fucking Elmhurst. Where they was getting married. Right. If you look at this shit real good, it says Elmhurst, and I'm just because I'm 10 minutes away from Elmhurst, so I know everything. So but that's me personally. The fact that, and they put out Barrow. Queens is very much mentioned.
Queens is mentioned in Coming to America a lot.
Wesley Snipes killed it.
Wesley Snipes,
he was amazing.
I'm not. Y'all in charge, but can we get a Drink Champs clap for Wesley Snipes?
Hell yeah! Let's give him a horn.
And I gotta give it up 1,000,000%. I've never met her. I actually just seen her comedies before, and I seen her stand up prior to me watching it. But Leslie Jones. Listen to me. As a person who my whole life I dedicate ghetto Queens woman, she hit it on the news. She hit it on the news. I'm telling you, she hung out with some hood rats from Queens. She hung out with some hood rats from Queens, and she hit it on the nose.
No, she's that person.
When she said, "Hey, Queen, I'm sorry I slept with your man." That's exactly how.
One day when I'm an old man, I'm going to tell the world about my DM conversations with Leslie Jones.
Leslie slid into your DMs.
No, she I slid into hers.
Whoa.
On some comedy shit. I'm like, you funny.
Okay.
Hey, relax. Y'all niggas is relaxed. Everybody's
You
calm
tell me
down.
all you gonna tell us.
Everybody's calm down.
Yeah, because why you gotta wait 10 years to tell us?
Hey,
What we
get your
missing
mind
here?
out the gutter, Drew Champs.
What we missing?
He's like, it's a statute of limitations on my DMs.
Pause mad private. Don't worry about it.
Jarobi know me for real.
Right. Now, everybody single men here? Not you. Now I know that. You a single man, Talib? Yeah.
As far, when is this coming out?
I've never heard that type of answer ever in my life. He said, depending on when this is coming out. What? I've never heard those. You fucking me up. I always got something to say. And if I don't even know what to say about it. I don't know what the fuck kind of pimp shit was that. That was some pimp shit right there. I know pimp shit when I see it.
He's like, what? When's this coming out?
I swear he probably stopped. Yeah. Holy shit. I don't even know how to rebuttal that. No, relax. I don't know how to rebuttal. You, Diamond D. You out here pimping with Talib?
Oh, no.
You married up?
No, I'm not married up.
You're not married, but you got a girl.
I got a young.
Let's make some noise for you trying to be loyal. All right, this is the last question. Like Biggie's words. I never thought that hip hop would take it this far. The level that hip hop is now, although we compromise with the music, sometimes the music is not up to par, but the level of business that I'm seeing being done, that I'm seeing being presented, is on another level at this point. Like everybody is being able to eat. There's people being able to reach their family, what Swiss and them did with Versus. It's a very, 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 where they gave people equity for, putting their likeness and their image on a thing, because most of these guys don't even own the actual records that they're playing. So they really wasn't benefiting. You was doing Verses just to do Verses. And for Swiss and Timbaland to say, you know what, I know some of y'all don't own y'all masters, so what we're going to do is we're going to give y'all a stake in the actual company. Where hip-hop is, I want to just, re-utter Big's words. I want to start with you because you came at the end. Did you ever think that hip-hop would take it this far?
Not at all. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I started taking culinary arts. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's one of the reasons. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? But it's cool to see it now because we're treated as it is. Like, we're a culture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's being treated as a culture. Now there's companies targeting our culture like they target whites and blacks, and you know what I'm saying? And that's a cool thing to see because they thought we were just some kids making noise.
Like
you know
a fad almost.
Yeah, a fad. They didn't understand the network and the groundwork we were putting in and the community we were building.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's really dope to see that part of it.
Right. So Utah Live, did you ever think hip-hop? Like, you see Jay-Z just sold his company to Moet. Now, me growing up, Moet was the richest shit you can drink.
Yes.
For them to recognize this company as a $500 million company, and them to buy in, and I think at 49%, which means that he still is the majority owner. Like, that's just an amazing thing. This is, we all grew up drinking Moet, and for us. For them to be a part of this company that he did on his own, this is big. Like, you ever thought that hip hop would go this far?
No, I didn't. But I attribute that to how we grew up.
Right.
We had limitations. We had blinders put on as far as what we could imagine. Like, we all just everybody in this room got into it because you wanted somebody. Me personally, it was like you wanted somebody to just think you was nice.
Right.
And if you read Jay-Z's book. He talk about that. He say it all comes down to the rhyme. Like, everything I gain attributed to, like, I just want to write the best raps and everything. And if you appreciate this culture, you put your all into it, things like this will happen. We come from situations where we made to feel like something's wrong with us if we aspire outside of what the hood supposedly represent. And this is why Jay-Z is such an important artist and human being, is because he breaks them barriers constantly. And he involved all of us in it.
Yep.
He makes sure that all of us, at least the people where he come from, he makes sure all of us see a part of it and a piece of it. Right. Even whether or not you in business with him, through the way he's making his moves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what I was saying earlier about conscious artists.
Right.
I can't grow no hair now.
Right.
But back when I was a teenager, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, I had dreads.
Right.
And my dreads looked like Michelle Basquiat.
Yeah, that's what Hov looking like.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
right.
Basquiat, yeah.
I seen Kodak Black, and shout out to Kodak Black because he's a Florida artist.
Right.
Yep.
I seen him saying that Jay-Z was copying his hairstyle. that's some young boy shit. He just never seen Basquiat.
He really said that?
Yeah, because Jay-Z's copying Basquiat.
I love how you pronouncing it right because I cannot. I say Basquiat. This is what he said. Basquiat. He got French for real. He didn't get Haitian. He got French. He went above Haiti. He got French on you.
And I'm sure it goes beyond Basquiat.
But
for him,
even in old time, even if Kodak Black is a little misguided with his historical references as far as coming hip hop, the fact that he grew his hair out like that is revolutionary.
Right.
The fact that Basquiat did that is revolutionary.
Yeah.
The fact that Jay-Z, when I see Jay-Z, I'm like, that's how my hair looked when I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it all comes full circle. It's like I'm like, yo, that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be free. We're supposed to be embracing our blackness, or whatever you are. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to embrace it and be free. And I just love the freedom and the fact that his freedom has led to him being an astute businessman.
And he's more conscious right now,
where
too.
he could do this business. He could do this type of business, and him and his wife and his family could do conscious art.
Right.
And still contribute to conscious causes and still win awards and all that. Beyonce, the most winningest artist of all time in the Grammys or whatever.
God damn it. Let's make some noise for that. God damn it.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
How about you, Diamond?
Nah.
You
no
know?
way. No way.
Right.
To see the culture come from black and brown people having block parties, plugging the equipment up to the lamppost.
Right.
To something that Jay-Z just did.
Right.
Or DJ D Nice in a Ford truck commercial.
Shout out to D Nice.
D Nice, man.
Word up.
Come on, man.
Word up. Let's go, Derek.
No way.
Kanye sneakers.
Right.
All that.
No way.
Right.
It's a testament, though, to the culture that we started.
Right.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. Well, you know what? On that note, let's end this and say, you know what? God bless hip-hop. It's blessed everyone in this room to a certain extent. Like I said, man, I keep watching this Tribe Called Quest documentaries, and I think that's one of the most slept on hip hop tool is the hip hop documentary. It's like we all, you know what I love about documentaries is it's like, you ever watch the HBO fights? They make sure everybody has a story. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what the documentaries is. And I'm excited to hear about this Black Star documentary. I'm excited to hear about you guys' album.
When is Gotham out? When?
Yeah.
April
26th.
I think it's 16th. April 16th.
April 16th.
Okay, we'll try to put this out that week or that, so we can help with the promotion. But
no doubt.
Overall, man, thank you, brothers, for taking your time out to come with us and get drunk and have some drinks. We're going to do some drops and some pictures, and we got this. Make some noise.
Happy birthday, Hank. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Drink Champs, hosted by yours truly, DJ EFN and N.O.R.E. Please make sure to follow us on all our socials. That's at Drink Champs across all platforms, at The Real Noriega on IG, at Noriega on Twitter. Mine is at Who's Crazy on IG, at DJ EFN on Twitter. And most importantly, stay up to date with the latest releases, news, and merch by going to drinkchamps.com. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
Lost Hills is a new podcast about a mystery in idyllic Malibu, California, when a man goes camping with his 2 young daughters and doesn't make it home alive. After his death, the cops follow a crumb trail of clues and arrest a survivalist they find camping in the woods. That's when things get complicated. Lost Hills is a shocking story that uncovers a dark truth about law enforcement in Malibu, California. Listen to Lost Hills on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you like true crime, check out the new podcast, Good Assassins, Hunting the Butcher. Part spy story, part detective case. It's the true tale of a secret mission to hunt down a savage Nazi murderer and assassinate him.
The goal was to send a message to all the Nazi criminals around the world. Hey, we can find you and we can kill you.
From Paris to Rio and beyond, Hunting the Butcher brings this to life using interviews with former spies and testimony from witnesses to the crimes, delving deeply into the pulse-pounding undercover operation.
It was another reason for the mission. It's something that I found almost unbelievable, a part of history that seems so bizarre to me that it couldn't have been real. But in 1964, the Israelis decided that Herbert Zuckers had to die.
Listen to Good Assassins, Hunting the Butcher on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Join the hunt.